happening in the ministry to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat keep on gradually, my brother to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, I do, but Spoon TV. Yes, I do, but Spoon TV. Spoon Spoon Entertainment. Yes, I information. Spoon television. Yes, I do. Spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stanton with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's good to be back here with another edition of the Spoon Talk. Your premier nighttime show from Odious Congo Town in Monrovia, Liberia. Welcome to it, and please don't forget to invite someone to listen or view alongside you, because as usual, it promises to be very, very informative and interesting. So let's go over to Dr. Richardson to kickstart the show. Doc?
Yeah, I can see. How are you?
I'm okay. How yourself?
I'm doing relatively well. It's been a rainy day out here. Didn't get a chance to go out today, but so far so good. Woke up this morning. How's Liberia?
Yeah, Liberia is okay. It's also been a rainy day, though. Yeah, there's been some interval in the rainfall, but yeah, of recent, for the past 2, 3, 4 days now, it's been rainy here in Monrovia, particularly.
Okay, good day. How are you? Are you with us? Oh, okay. I'll let you do your thing. I was just saying hi to you. Yeah. So you can see what's going on in Liberia. You want to fill us in? I just want to welcome all of our viewers. We want to thank you for joining us today. Come here and listen to information that will make you informed about what's going on in our country politically. We really enjoy you being here and your participation. And thank you again for making this one of the biggest platform in Liberia. I promise that we wouldn't disappoint you. So you can see you want to give us the trending news, and then I'll probably welcome some of our viewers.
Yeah. So uh, the trending happening. One of the trending happenings in Minerva today has to do with the CDC announcement of its 2023 primaries organizing committee, and on that committee, Jefferson Tamakoji, who's the Secretary General of the
Mm-hmm.
CDC,
Mm-hmm.
has been announced as the chairman of the CDC 2023
Mm-hmm.
primaries organizing committee, and a list of other individuals with various positions were also released today. Like Mike Keshen is the co-chairman for the committee. One Abel Masale is co-chair for legal affairs. Emmanuel Swain,
Mm-hmm.
co-chair for elections, and the list goes on and on and on. Yeah, and you have the advisory council where Chief Cyril Allen was also announced as the chairman. So it's a long list of individuals that was announced today by
Wow.
the city. And another talking point in the country currently has to do with, you know,
Mm-hmm.
a alleged leaked, WhatsApp message, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, linking Henry Costa. It's been alleged that
Mm-hmm.
he's the one, who sending those messages via a WhatsApp group. As a matter of fact, Front Page Africa reported on it today. It's still on the Front Page Africa, but
Mm-hmm.
Costa, Costa has, come in defense of that. He has,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's refuted uh, that he's the one, you know, who leaked those WhatsApp messages, or he's involved with that saga. So it's something that's taken over social media. A lot of people are criticizing Henry Costa. As a matter of fact, some hierarchies from the CDC, not the CDC, but the Unity Party,
Mm-hmm.
have termed the content of the message as false and misleading. So
Wow.
basically, those are some of the trending issues in Minerva for today.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. We'll see how it pans out. I see Mr. Fagon, I see you here. You're not answering me today.
I full not to answer you. I mean, somebody not to answer you. Eh?
Uh,
I,
so
I the one will answer you.
I know. Let me let me welcome our viewers. So you will help me today. Welcome my cousin and family members, or you just going to sit there?
No, you got two more persons in the man just talk something about Front Page Africa. I didn't read it why he welcome your
Yeah,
first,
but
second,
oh,
and third cousins.
we from the settlement. We like all the cousins.
Now what cause
Corn lady amazing.
most of the men not to be married because everybody want a cousin. So I even know how the settlement grew.
Yeah, that's why you left and you went all the way to Bombing Hills area.
Exactly, because I wanted to be around different people. Because everybody in my
And
own play was come Jean, come Message
mhm.
Trinity, come
boy,
Albert,
boy Eugene, boy Jean.
boy John, boy
Yes,
Ure, boy Ure.
yes. So let me remember. Con Joe Daba, you are here. Thank you for coming
You
here.
know, style.
Yes, Joe Daba said this is a CDC platform. Thank you for being here. Joanna Penna, thank you for being here. Eddie Sarmi says you are well loved, Doc. Thank you, Eddie. Um, Masaji is here. Sandy Famula is here. Let me see. Geez, this thing is going. Okay. Charles J.S. Young is here. D. Steve is also here. Fred Dennis Nangwe is here. Samuel N. Nama, I believe, is from Broadville City. He's here watching us. Ezekiel Roberts is also here. Hi, Ezekiel. He says, hi, Dr. Richardson. How are you doing? Eddie S. Sami is here. Joshua Russell is here. Tucker Mankula is watching from home, is also here. Vera Horace is here. Thank you for being here, Vera. Dalahu Cindy is here. Love Ability is here. J. Benedict Kalusana is watching from Dubai. I always like to see people from different places watching us. It makes me travel vicariously with everybody. Tom Ara Parker is here. He's watching from Sinker 8th Street. I hope you're out of the rain and enjoying the raindrop. One of the things that I miss from Monrovia, because of how this thing is structured, you can really hear the raindrops when the rain falls. Cutting Edge Climb is also here. Princeton B. Kanka is watching from Carplay, Nima County, District 4. I never heard of Carplay. I heard Complay, I think. King Tenkamina is here. Sandy Famula is also, I think I said your name, Sandy, did I? Sandy Famula is here. Thank you for being here. Lydia Mills Mason is, thank you. Con Lydia is here. Saving Chris is also here. John T. Howard is here. We want to welcome you to the show. Robert Lockett II. He's following from us from Upper Arlington. You from our family people in place of Upper Arlington? That me and Fagon come from Upper Arlington. I don't know if he's from Lower or Upper, which one. That where he man from, but he won't tell people you can be hiding it from.
Yeah. They say one guy went over there and cleaning all the land with waiting.
Yeah,
we're telling the two families that own the whole of Arlington. The best way to go to Carrisburg is through Millsburg.
That's right.
He just come up yonder and just started talking. He own land, this and that. He about to see something. He gonna see it. He gonna feel it.
Yeah.
He gonna feel something.
He just think that he gonna see flower beds of ease, huh? He just took up the land and think he on flower beds of ease.
He gonna soon. And I know one of my cousins watching me because I know that cousin of mine. He's watching right now. Right now, I can just in my mind. He's the kind of Congo guy that can say, Brady. He can take those land now. But the day I catch up with him, he gonna sure say hello to God.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch him. He gonna catch him. They're gonna catch him.
I'm gonna catch him. So now, you know, the Wright family, the Briswells, and what have you.
Yes.
We from Arlington, Georgia, Road West. And one guy was talking about Charles Taylor, and I asked him one day, I said,
yes, Charles Taylor, mom from there.
Yeah, so I asked him, I said, what Charles Taylor need? Charles Gange MacArthur Taylor. I said, you don't even know him. They call him Bugsy. That head me, Bugsy. Yeah. I say, and the boundary between their yard and my grandfather's yard is nothing but a palm tree. I said that man went up on rakes and pissed in the water tower. Right. But I asked about him. That's how bad he was. He went on rakes, climbed the water tower, and pissed up in there.
Jesus.
And guess what? My mom is 83 years old. She can tell you how Charles Taylor ran, whack her with a stick one day. Because the yard and our yard, we have common boundary, like your house and my house. Yeah, so I say if I had gotten killed in the war, then that was it. But if I had seen Charles Taylor with my eye and tell him that I was the grandson of Julius Wright, ain't nobody would have entered our house but me. I would have been right in his living room for tea, breakfast, and dinner. Yeah.
You taking me back, man. You take me right back to
yeah, you ain't know much about them breakfast and breakfast tumba. You ate that before?
No, I didn't. I only
You
visited
ever
on
had hog
Tuckery.
ass knickknacks and cabbage?
That I knew about pork and cabbage. I don't say the
But
thing.
you didn't have some hog ass knickknacks and cabbage. You didn't do that.
I did.
Oh, okay.
My pa used to like that.
You have some string beans?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's slavery ain't end yet.
Who will come from that place and ain't know how to eat string beans? So
right now, I'm wasting my time. I eating via beans toboki. I eating takutowe. I eating GB, the real one with soglo.
I think then I will you learn it from somewhere else.
Madam, I'm not keeping that old thing where they say Sunday no red or. What kind of thing is that? They put you eating a burger on Sunday. They say I'm not eat pan butter because I red or that way bad thing. They put food up in there attire. So you see some kind of fan girl from across the river. By the time you say hi Charlene, cousin Eugene, I would love if I want other one just told me today say our family. I'm not about the family.
Yes,
I'm not about the family. My partner does it.
Everybody related. When they finish telling the story, then they can't sit you down and tell you all the long time story. You know how you related to corn pork joint and all of that one there from the
I know you want to eat your nose. I know you want to eat your nose.
I'm paying him.
I ain't even know what pork on that camera. Even today, Ben, you can tell you know. Look at that Paul. What's wrong with that frisky Paul?
I can hear it in his voice.
Everybody to Benin Ayure has a habit. He's a sweetheart. But he has a habit. Everybody either foolish or stupid. So he do anything. Look at the other one. He's so damn stupid. He foolish,
That is so true. That is so true.
Someone just need to put kick in his punga.
Oh my God. That's another word. I know where they got that one there from.
Anyway, they took it from Louisiana. Oh Lord, we're having a good time until he showed up. We're having a good time.
Pardon.
Why you say, oh boy? Oh, hey, look at the other one. Opa, how Lexington doing? Langton. How Langton doing?
Lexington?
Langton.
Yeah, but listen though, in my whole life, I went there only 2 times. I spent all my time. I went there 2 times. That's it, bro.
Look at him, Nadine. The leaves, leaves can wither, right? But they want a spoon. His spoon wither.
If I made a mistake, I take back my stuff. That thing was incorrect.
Sonny, wrong where you at?
I got to request my stuff back.
That he asleep.
I mean, that's my greatest mistake, man.
Good lawsuit.
That's
so
what you say. How you doing?
People, I'm doing good. I was welcoming Con Joseph and Paul Fanny to the show. I just want to welcome all of you. Tipples, PK Dempster, thank you for following us. You always hear Arita Joa Bestman Yates. Thank you. Mena George is here. Thank you so much. Matthew Pate Tukba is also here. Appreciate you being here. George P. Flobo, thank you for being here. Joe Daba, thank you. Fanny Sonin Leo Maseque, thank you. Maria, thank you for being here. Darahu SB Sandy, thank you for being here. Harris Stay Mobile, thank you for being here. I just want to tell all of you, thank you so much. It's a wonderful Friday. We're going to have a good show. As you can see, Mr. Falcon and I are already reminiscing of the good old days, the past.
So I'm part of it. Only you, Falcon.
But you say you went to Lexington 2 times. You can't speak in your nose.
Yeah, come on, that's Richardson. Listen now. Where you from? 4 months or where? Where actually you from?
I will not. I pleaded fifth. You know my genealogy.
I just asked you, where you from?
No more Henrietta Bryant. Arlington. That brought John granddaughter here, Mr. Falcon.
I didn't know Fagon had Congo blood in him though.
Yes, so yes, I exposed him to the
That's why when you hear people talking about how they would kick me from here and kick me, just tell them I'm from Arlington, Georgia, Road West. My great-grandfather was the first Pentecostal missionary to the whole of Africa, Aaron J. Holmes Sr. We come from a place called Live Oak in Florida. That's where they came from. They came on board the Noctilus and established the first Pentecostal mission in the whole of Africa, in a place called Zodi. All Pentecostal, whether free or what, they came from honor Aaron J.
How many Bible verses?
How many Bible verses? Oh, I'm sorry, Santa, you're talking.
No. If I'm going to talk about the Bible, so they probably know Bible business. So they probably know Bible business.
John 11:35. Jesus
wept. John 10:30.
No. I am a father at one. But stick with John 11:35.
Why Jesus wept? Why he wept?
Now why they ask the pastor, the Papa say, you think that wept where Jesus wept? It just not a wept. Now they flock it where they flock it, now he made wept.
That Papa didn't go to Sunday school.
I didn't feel Sunday school. You feel in the morning.
John 10:30. I am a father at one. You know where that power voice came from?
Where it came from?
People like Jeru, back in the day, Jeru told you the story. If their father then used to marry plenty of wives, he go jump in one of the room there with equal. The papa say, hey, why you doing that? He say, John 10:30, I am a father at one.
How about you lying? You lying?
He jumped in there and said, you, why you doing that? I say, I just say my power first. Papa said, what you say? He said, John 10:30, I am a father at one. There's a couple girls out.
Oh God!
What's up, man?
I can't make mistake like that, man.
Casey, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you, guys. How are you doing?
What's your brother? Lami?
Lami is on his way. He just texted me. He's running a little bit late.
He's on his way to come help you. I heard that Tewon Gonglo and third place. So, is that true?
That's not true.
No, seriously. I heard that Tewon Gonglo is in third place. That's what Richard said.
Yeah,
that's not true.
But even more than that, in Grand Jeddah, he's second place right now.
We got 15 countries. That only one country you celebrating second place. You have to let it
go. For them to beat George, we are. So my effort cannot be in vain.
Oh, that's the place you're doing everything possible for Tewon to win, right?
Yes, I want Grand Jeddah to go for Tewon. Let's tell George Weah that there's no stranglehold on Grand Jeddah.
But let me ask you a question before we start the show, Dr. Richard said. Let me ask you a question though.
Mm-hmm.
Are you from Grand Jeddah, Gibson?
Yes, I am.
Which part of Grand Jeddah?
I'm from Bison District.
Bison District.
Yeah, well, I don't know Grand Jeddah a lot, but 6 years, 5 years ago or 6 years, have Grand Jeddah changed? The economy, the status, the living condition. What has changed about Grand Jeddah? If you're speaking to the Grand Jeddians right now, what have President George Manneh Weah, Zoe Penno, and the rest of them, what have they done?
First of all, that's a very great question. Thank you very much for that question. First of all, Grand Jeddians have been making a very bad decision over the years. They have elected the wrong people. They are stuck with the wrong people. All the people that have been elected senators and representatives have no input as to the well-being of the people because there are so many decisions that have been taken that are never. In fact, Grand Jeddah, the health budget used to be more than 500,000. Now it dropped to 400,000. under George Weah. When Ellen was there, it was 540,000 for the health program. But now it dropped now to 400,000. That's how bad it is. And nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. The people seems to be glued to George Weah for some, I don't know what kind of fantasy they have, but they call him Samuel Doe's son. I don't know how is he Samuel Doe's son when he have done all the bad things against Samuel Doe's family. Like Nancy Doe won a $30 million case for Doe immuniment. With that Ellen Johnson then challenged, but then they went to the ECOWAS court. Yeah. ECOWAS said, hey, your constitution says you should pay the man that his emolument. So when it came by, George Weah told Nancy Doe, I cannot give you that money. I'd rather pay that money somewhere else than to give you the money. So he never gave even a dime to Nancy Doe. Worse than that, when George Weah became president, the first group of ministers or leaders he sacked, or directors, was Samuel Doe Jr. He was the first person that George Weah dismissed from the port. And it was Ellen who appointed him as deputy director at the port. When George Weah won right away because
so we understand. We come there, Gibson. Give us chance. I think Fagon and Dr. Richardson got questions. We will go into our show for tonight. But this thing about calling George Manuel Weah Semekedo incarnate, that's some kind of do. Y'all go vote for him. This man is a Grand Gedeh. He speak crime. Or he speak whatever sapo, whatever other data they have in Grand Gedeh. At the end of the day, though, you still having Zopena to support him. And those other folks. I want you to go to the nitty-gritty. Talk to us tonight. Do you think President Weah stand any chance in Grand Gedeh as of now, right now? You think he messed up so bad that Grand Gedeh don't want to see him anymore?
No, I would think that Grand Gedeh, there are a lot of people who still support him in Grand Gedeh County. And if anybody will beat Gonglo in Grand Gedeh, will be George Weah.
Not Gonglo. I'm talking about George Weah.
That's what I'm saying. If anybody will beat Gonglo in Grand Gedeh, it has to be George Weah. Because Gonglo is more popular than any other political candidate apart from George Weah. But the problem is, George Weah and the Legislative Caucus, Grand Gedeh Legislative Caucus, were not even speaking. Marshall Dennis and George Weah were not speaking since George Weah became president in the first year, because they were concerned. People lists that were sent. So, bring lists. They bring lists for them to give them job, and nothing happens. We want to talk to you. We want to meet you. Nothing happens. And Marshall Dennis and George Weah were not speaking. Zopena was far away. In fact, he and Zopena could not see eye to eye. The superintendent, he alienated the superintendent completely. When the superintendent go to Monrovia, he doesn't even go to George Weah's place. So all of these things are happening. But I want to say Grand Gedeans have been making bad decisions. They elected the wrong people who do not even care for their own county, who have not done anything practically noticeable. I mean, we can't see anything that other lawmakers argue for benefit. Like NEMA health budget now is 8 million. Grand Gedeh health budget is 400,000. So the disparity is too big, it's too wide. But this issue of this thing of Grand Gedeh, Doe's son, I don't see how it is. What makes him Doe's son? I've never understood that. And I don't think he is. I think he doesn't even like Grand Gedeh. I can tell you for sure. George Weah, we have never gone back. Like, you go to other counties to say your thank you. When he was elected, he didn't go to the county until it was time for maybe county tour, and then he passed there. So basically, no, Nigerians. The road is bad.
We will bring in George Soto.
The education budget is bad.
Thank you very much. We'll bring in George Soto tomorrow, I believe, and we will talk about the Grand Gedeh issue. It's very important to go county by county. From Grand Gedeh, we can talk about another country. We appreciate it.
Welcome. Grand Gedeh from George Weah has to do with George Solo. I think he thinks George Solo is an epitome of the anger that he bears against Grand Gedeh. And I hope that George Solo will come here.
And we will have that discussion tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Gerald. Dr. Richardson, you want to add anything? Thank you, sir. And have fun.
I was just curious. I wanted to ask Mr. Jiru, what do you think make Grand Gedeh a viable county, like in terms of commercial activities or productivity? What do you think can make Grand Gedeh a viable county?
First of all, the first thing we need to do is to diversify our support. We should not put all our eggs in one basket, going beyond Georgia and everybody run to Georgia. We should have a diversified view of the people that are running for president. That's the first thing we need to do. Now it is succeeding a little bit. There are people who are pledging their support to JNB. There are people who are pledging their support to Gonglo. There are even people in Grand Gedeh, when I went there recently, I saw people who support ANC, Mr. Cummings. The other thing is the road is the baddest thing. It's the only thing that Grand Gedeans are crying for. If that road was paved today, or even greater to the extent that I can drive and come and go, I broke my four-wheel shaft. I broke it in Grand Gedeh when I went there. It broke completely. So once that road is fixed, I can go and do business there. Right now, nobody goes to Grand Gedeh easily. You have to spend like 2 weeks on the road before you get there. So it is just the road. We need the road to be fixed, and then other commercial activities will take over.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So go ahead.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Guys, I believe Mepe Gono will be joining us. Councillor Lamek Bakor will be joining us. Fadika, I don't think, I really don't know whether we're going to have Daniel Sando today. But Mo Ali, welcome. We're just brushing off, doing our 2 steps. Welcome, Mo Ali. We're not hearing you.
I'm glad that Madam Gono is coming back because she accused either way.
But hold on, Gibson, hold on. We'll get to you. 1 minute. Hold your peace. Yeah. Mo, can you hear us?
Yeah. I'm getting you now. My internet. A rainy air heavy is so day.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but talk to us now. I said, welcome to the show. You got anything to say?
Thank you. Well, in Liberia, there are always things to say. Very, very, very lots of things, both in and out. Somebody asking if I'm supposed to speak. The other day we talked about the blocking of the road before the president's former house. And that has continued unabated. In fact, it appears like they have tightened the security around there. Now, I don't have evidence of what I'm going to say, but there are rumors around, and I'm saying rumors, that they may have some arms in that place. That's what they are protecting. But sometimes, to say these things is a little bit of a difficult thing, especially when you are on the ground in Liberia. I also got an intelligence today, which I share with Stanton. I hope we can discuss that on the show. It is very vital. Some of these things, you share them to discourage them from happening. Sometimes they have a plan and you don't talk about it, you keep quiet. When it happens, you tell about it, they say, oh, I'm going to move from there, you lie, you near about it, why you thought ever since. So I hope we can discuss some of these things. And we will not get tired of discussing the drug issue. Because, again, day before yesterday, I got a confirmed story. The kush, the way you can treat the children, the people who take it is so terrible. When they take it and catch them, they got to stay somewhere for 10, 15 to 20 minutes.
Yes.
Before they move.
Yep.
If the person is lying down, somebody can say, if you just take it, start working, and you lie down. That's how they can die.
Yep.
So the person, so the person has to stay for a long time to come to the more before they can start walking. And I have a video. I want to try to send it to Stanton. So
thank you, Mo.
Yeah, I will send it to you so you can play it. Let people hear how they think and treat some of them.
Thank you very much, Mo. Thank you very much, guys. Dr. Richardson, I think you want me to co-moderate with you. We discuss, and I want to say thank you. Let me bring in Eugene Lamy Fagon. What's on your mind, my brother, as we begin the show?
I think, and I'm very, very sad, I think we passed over something yesterday that the entire country should be up in heads about. Two government ministers from the executive branch of government, whilst the legislature, the Senate, was in session in its sacred chambers, two ignorant government ministers barged into that sacred chamber in the middle of a session, and one of them had the guts to go up to the sacred room or the podium where the authority, which is the gavel, is, said words in the ears of the pro tem, and the pro tem abandoned his position, walked down from the podium, and followed the two ministers. It has never happened in no part of the world. Liberia has broken history, and that's what's on my mind. Simply because Article 3 of the Constitution is very clear when it says that the form of government is Republican with three separate coordinate branches: the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary, consistent with the principle of separation of powers and checks and balances. No person holding office in one of the branches shall hold office in or exercise any of the powers. And that's what I want to speak on today. Or exercise any of the powers assigned to either of.
Do you have anything else? Do you have anything else on your mind? Because we put that in place.
The next thing I have on my mind is a debate with any person on this platform or a group of persons from anywhere in the Republic that Joseph Nyuma Boakai received the biggest endorsement ever in our political arena and spectrum. And that is the endorsement of the motorcycle and tricycle union. That's the biggest you can hold within the Republic. Even the military, if they were allowed, if only they were allowed, they will give you 2,000 men.
Thank you very much,
they can't make it.
Thank you, Honorable
Fagon. Those are the two things on my mind.
So, okay, thank you very much. Mo Adi talking about the drugs issue in the country and the blockade around President George Mano. We are all resident. You're talking about Samuel Twe and Eugene Nangwe visiting the Capitol building and that of the endorsement of Joseph Nyuma Boakai.
Sir, they did not visit. They walked in.
Gibson, Jeru, what's on your mind, my brother?
You are muted.
Can you unmute, Mr. Jerry? Can you unmute? James, can you unmute Gibson?
Yeah, I'm unmuted.
Thank you.
I was unmuted. Dr. Richardson, I just have something that you can speak to. That would be my opening. It has to do with Marylanders endorsing Cummings, Mr. Cummings. He said Marylanders commit to Cummings' presidency, pledge to support their own. How much is this a serious matter?
That's it?
Yeah,
all right, thank you. Let's bring in Hussein Fadika. My brother
Yeah, a lot on my mind, but the drugs, honestly, the reason why this hit close to home is something that I do for a living. So I deal with a lot of stuff. I can tell you, during the alien administration, a white journalist called Johnny Dwyer approached me and told me that heroin and drugs is going to take other drugs going to take over your country. That was way back. I thought this guy was going crazy. I didn't believe that drugs was something that affect our population until I started to deal with it. Yeah, if I tell you, the youngest is from 14 years, so the children start taking drugs in America, all the way up, and it happened right under the nose of the parents. And from the look of this kush thing, the symptoms resemble something like opioid or fentanyl.
Yes, it is.
That's what I'm thinking on.
Fentanyl.
Yeah, fentanyl. And if you know what we have to deal with, even with in the greatest democracy in the world, with the best of healthcare, that thing is like a dark hole that once the person go in, I'm telling you something, I wish we had some machine to switch it off and switch it down. These children go into a different state that to get them back. Look, I've seen, and the way people get into it is so funny. It happened right in the house. Look, St. Cloud, a small town, the whole place is infected, especially East African. Thank God, most of the West African, we don't see that a lot. With a lot of the West African, I've seen some Liberian overdose and die here. But imagine, this is America we're talking about. Look at Liberia and look at what will happen if we don't do nothing about this thing. Look, the people have made the thing so easily accessible. They started making it like gummy, like pills, and putting it all over with different colors.
But so what's on your mind is the drugs issue. Then we can go into it. Do you have another thing?
And there are other stuff that I would like to talk about, like the president, some of the things that I would when I start now, and so I'm sure we want to talk about those things. So I'll just wait. But I'll leave it at the drugs. Yeah.
Thank you very much, my brother. Let's go to Lamé, Councillor Bakwa.
So for me, the state of affairs in a country, generally the economy, which has a ripple effect on pretty much every other thing, the situation of rule of law, these are all things that are troubling, and they continue to be troubling. I was listening to a news item on ERBC this evening, as I was driving, and they were talking about some students went to tell Mr. Weir, thank you for paying WAS fee and stuff like that. And I can understand how people will think that you live in a society where things are really difficult, hard, and then they put some kids together to come and say, thank you for giving some of our own money back to us. Thank you for giving it back to us. It's sad that people will decide to abuse children like that, because I see that as child abuse. We have to speak against that to stop Mr. Weir and people from abusing the children of their country by making them to go and petition, pretty much a petition him, saying that they will vote for him, they will let him stay in power because he's the best thing ever to happen. It's child abuse. Let's talk about that child abuse tonight. And that's the reason why when we come to office, we ensure, when Councillor Bongo comes to office, we ensure that people will not be abusing other people's children by making them to come and say they're petitioning them for doing well, when it is obvious they've not done anything in this country.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to keep Dr. Richardson you for last. We see that our sister Kou Mepe Gono just joined us. Welcome, sis. How you doing? Can you unmute? James, can you unmute? Can you unmute Kou, please? You good? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, everyone.
How you doing, Cole?
Good, Madam Moderator. How are you, Dr. Richardson?
I'm doing relatively well.
Absolutely. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to be here again. Thank you for the space. And I want to say hi to Spoon himself, my big brother, Honorable Fagon. That has two journalists, Mr. Gibson, Peru, Councilor Fagon, and my own brother, Hassan Fatiga. I hope you all are doing well today. I'm happy to be a part.
Thank you very much, Mepe. What's on your mind? What have you been since yesterday you left the show? What's happening? I mean, what's the conversation like out there that you can bring on the program tonight?
Oh, since yesterday, I would like to say the outpour of support towards our vision bearer, the Honorable Joseph Yima Boyka, has been immense. I've gotten groups, even support groups across the diaspora, calling, trying to reach out to work along with the TAC team. I would like to use this opportunity to expand upon that, to invite them to say, look, this is the place to be, get on board the train. We have limited time, we're almost there. Let us come on board and do this thing. The more we are, it's possible that we can just hit it off, maybe even on the first round. So for me, my focus is the train. And there are other national issues that I heard people talk about, like I just listened to Brother Lamy. I think those issues are also concerning, and I'll be happy to discuss those issues as well.
Thank you very much. Dr. Richardson?
Well, there are a couple of things on my mind. I want to start off first by, I think Liberians have been signing a lot of financial agreements lately, and it's concerning to me. I think we signed a loan with Israel, I believe last week, and then in recent times, we did a 9.5 million financial agreement with developmental partners, including Sweden and other people. My thought about that is how we're going to pay these loans that we're taking back, especially in the days of us hearing that we're not getting a lot of revenues into our coffers. So I'm a little bit concerned. Are we just going to leave our children or the future generation a lot of debt, especially in with the backdrop of having these drug issues that's going on? I also wanted to talk about. I want to thank a lot of Liberians that reached out to me. There was obviously an issue that happened on social media, but I really didn't anticipate the outpour of support from both men and women. My phone has been busy all day. I want to just thank you, and I appreciate you. Within due time, I will be able to discuss this matter effectively.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. We want to say thanks to all of our many followers. Listen, we're here to stay. We're here. We're here to stay.
Something I'll tell you about.
Man, let me do my own. Why you always interrupt?
No, I'm not. I'm just asking him. Sorry, but they either wear gongo allegations on me. I'll tell you.
I'm not interested in the either wear gongo thing. Let me do my own. What's on my mind? Put it in the chat room, man.
How can somebody put something in people's mind?
I told you what's on my mind. The man asked me about either way gonglo. Either way gonglo is in Pennsylvania. Remember, listen, man.
But according to the man says, Stenton, you got to either wear gonglo thing in your mind.
After that call, you after today.
Mama, you just misquoting me. I said, did you?
But let me. Yes, I did, brother. I did. I put it down. Thank you. I just messing with you. I did. So let me say this. It's very important to welcome all of our many supporters. Liberians, again, like we said many times before, this is your network. This is who we are. We are not scripted. No one person paying anyone on this set. No one person paying anyone on this set. We say what on our mind. We go home in peace. We eat our food. We watch our Netflix. If you don't want to watch Netflix, watch CNN. Whatever the case may be, whatever interests you. I love my Netflix. Right now, I'm on the SWAT. And they get a series that on Netflix. I'm on season 2, episode 17, I believe. I enjoy that movie. If I don't watch it, I watch the war in Ukraine. And I watched the war in Ukraine between Ukraine and Russia. They call it Bakhmut. It's online. If I gonna make me to watch those things, see them killing people in real daylight. And I love watching those action activities. I don't stress. Why should I stress? God have it all. God have it all. Let me say this. We cannot speak on why because we got to move on with the show, like Dr. Richardson said. I sincerely stand by you, Dr. Richardson. I condemn everything that was said out there by other folks. I'm not going to talk about that. They can say what they want to say about me. They can insult me. I know who I am. I'm not going to. My mission, the goal, is about George Manawia and his field leadership. The goal here is about telling the Liberian people who George Manawia is. Even Mobile Model had the chance to tell the Liberians, but they didn't listen. We will play that clip tonight. That was on my mind. Let me say this. Only God can take our lives. Only God will stand by. But Liberia deserves better. If you ever mean you run beyond Dr. Richardson, you run beyond Mempe, you run beyond this person, come on, man. Point your arrow to me. Attack me. It won't move me. I am who I am. This program will continue because we got Mark Zuckerberg. This program will continue because the Liberian people own the network and they own the show. I'm not going to go back to talk about what people said. I apologize to Dr. Richardson, and I understand that she's strong. In this country, they get law, and they get the rules of law. The only reason why we cannot go further, when I spoke to Abraham yesterday, and I spoke to Dr. Richardson, and my wife spoke to Dr. Richardson, we know what they are going to. You have your home address, you live in America, you're an American citizen or a resident, you will explain it in the court of law. So we will not explain anything further. What you see, what you hear, what you believe in, you will explain it to the judge, the jury, the prosecutor, your defense lawyer, and everybody will hear it. But till then, we will proceed to discuss the Liberian people business. We fear nothing. My name, they call me Tia Joseph Fanokon. I ain't afraid of George Manawia. I ain't afraid of nobody. I got one life to live, and God has given me a blissful life. If I should depart this earth today, I'm grateful to the Lord. But I will stay to see my children and grandchildren and great-grand. And the good cause of Liberia will rise. Let me say this to you. We have law in this country. We have law. Remember Donald Trump? He spent $5 million for defamation in New York. He went back to talk about the woman, they sue him again. And the law will take its course. And I will stand with Dr. I am standing by her, and I believe everybody will stand with Dr. Richardson. She will fight a good fight. She's not leaving the show. She will remain on the show. If you hate it, you can leave. That's your business. We will move, and our conversation will be George Manawia. Today, if you said because I said on my own that George Manawia care for only three things, all his many women, his girlfriends, and all the money he must receive, and all the football story he want to tell, and he said he's the best president since 1847, trust me, my friend, he lied to the Liberian people, which we should expose him. I didn't say it. Mobile Bottle said it, and we play the tape. Let Liberian hear it again. Folks in the government said it. You remember, if you go back in history, General Asa Musa's daughter, should we play that clip also for Liberian people to hear? Yeah, for us to play it. The same thing that this president. When they call him Sunshine, let's play it and let the Liberian people hear for themselves. What a disgrace we brought in the country as a president. What a disgrace. Shouldn't we?
It's an open secret all in the
opposition. Let's say it, my people. You want to attack me? Attack me. Don't attack the people, poor mother, a beautiful woman, a good housewife, a doctor. Come on, man. It's cheap. But you know, when you're on Seroquel and you're on Xanax, we understand. And I will leave it like that. We will pursue with the program because it's the right thing to do. My mission is to tell the Liberian people who George Manawia is. My mission is to tell the Liberian people who Samuel Tuah is. My mission is to tell the Liberian people who the rest of them are, because Liberians deserve better. And I will do this, I will do this, I will do this, and that is what on my mind tonight. So let me start with Dr. Richardson. We stand with you, we support you any which way, and we stand with your family, your husband, and let God be with you as we move into the conversation. Thank you. Now, folks, we put that aside. I will start with what on my mind first, and then we will roll to you guys.
The first one where you turn and now on your mind.
No, but man, I got my clip to play. Don't do that. When we started this conversation, right, and we start talking about the George Manneh Weah issue, what makes him different from the leaders that are trying to be president, that are trying to take his position, Joseph Yima Boakai, Alexander Cummings, Tewan Gonglo, his own party chairman. Can you play this, James? His own party chairman. How the world
he wasn't really carry one mood then. Like I got SQ were working with Waffle Program as a driver. In as much as transition is impressive for sedition, but why can't you give it to revolutionary sedition, people that understand the struggle? But you take a woman from Waffle Program, mail HR to NPA, in less than a year, you mail everybody director for administration before you fucking again.
Well, you heard it. It's not from me. This is from Mobile Modu, the chairman of CDC, talking about S-Screen, and he used the F word I'm not going to repeat. That's not me saying it. If you ask me why we're saying these things, it's because the Liberian people decided within themselves they will put somebody like George Manneh Weah to be president. That care less for the country. Can you play the next clip? And we'll do it more, then we'll do the round table as we move on.
Call me. I actually mistakenly said, "Good afternoon, Mr. President." He said, "I told you, call me Sunshine."
Okay, we're going to pause. We're pausing this in little. We're going to play the entire thing as we move on. So let's start the show, folks. Welcome to the Spoon Talk. You can find us on Fabric, on Super, and that you can find us on Spoon. We want to be grateful to God and we want to be grateful to every one of you as we dive into the conversation. Let's do the round table. Now, we're going to start again with Eugene Fagon, and we'll carry this thing around. Then we'll make our two sisters the last because they will be coming in from an era of strength. I like to put the weaker people in front first. So let me go to Eugene Fagon.
Well, thank you. First of all, let me say I did not expect this issue to be raised on this platform, but since it was, I think I have my own 1 cent, 2 cents to contribute. I like to pay tribute to a formidable woman, a woman who has stood her ground. When men put their tails between their legs and absconded after having milked the proceeds of the Liberian People's Platform, having used the platform to excel and reach for heights, they intended to sell the platform of the Liberian people that have been given to them. CEO, we owe you a debt of gratitude. But everyone left but one woman. There is a litany of evidences, but one stands out the most. When they said to her, "Follow us, let's go," she said, "No, the platform belongs to the people. I will not follow you." We sat right here and we witnessed a blackmail from one of the individuals who has since apologized. For him, he had recordings in the car and all that kind of nonsense. But this woman stood her grounds. She stood the test of time. Today, the platform is here because of her. And the platform remains the biggest and most popular platform in our nation's history. It caters to the 15 counties by way of YouTube, by way of Facebook, by way of all other social media components. It has several FM stations, including television stations. She stood her grounds. And because of her, we are here today, and the Liberian people owns a station. Dr. Francine would like to say thank you to you and the Liberian people will forever remain grateful. Having said that, I move to give my thoughts on President Weah, but it will be fair to say that you, Stanton Witherspoon, staying in a presidential suite would pay for the bedrooms of everyone that you took along with you, including every other thing, making donations all around the country, and that you will need a room and you will go in no other room than a little room that you give out to somebody, as if you could not afford another one or the presidential suite will not be comfortable for you. It defies logic and it goes beyond the thinking of any rational being. As to President Weah, this is an open secret. And because of this thing that is so well known, documented, both audio and visual, for someone to put their entire life on the line, who amongst you here is still with their 6th grade boyfriend or girlfriend? I know I'm not. Who amongst you on this platform is still with their 9th grade boyfriend or girlfriend? Maybe Lamy is, but I'm sure I'm not. Who amongst you here went to the 11th and 12th grade junior and senior prom? The girl that you said you were married, the one you wrote that note to and they flogged you for, where is she today? I'm sure I'm not with that person. But I can say on this platform, we are not perfect men and women, but there's some things we do lives after us. And President Weah is no exception. He's very promiscuous and everybody knows it. He is not like the other people that likes the gold and the diamond. He has his things that he likes. And one of them happens to be women, especially of a younger age. And to sit here, nobody accused him of doing underage girls. But for people to say he likes women, and someone said because of that, they will die, is it that they themselves don't like women too? But Stanton, I will close on this note by saying you and Dr. Francine have done for Liberia what Liberians will be forever grateful for. And to President Weah, I can tell, he's told all of you, I brought CAF to the Liberian people and their government. I repeat, it's because of me that all of you know CAF. Had it not been me, none of you knew CAF. All of you, when I look at the tape, I saw that every time they tried to quiet him down, he was talking to somebody on the phone. All of you are taking advantage of a very slow man, one that I rescued many years ago. But I'll say to many of you, he will pay dearly for what he has done in a court of competent jurisdiction. But President Weah, you are who you are, and you are a public figure. You will always be discussed. And many more persons should get ready to do either what they heard last night or to get on board the train and let's fix our country. There is one carriage left. And by the end of July, if you're not on the train, we'll be gone too far. I respectfully submit. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Minister Fagon. We appreciate you. Let me go to Hussein. Hussein.
Where do I start? The reason I wanted to bring this up, but the reason I didn't bring it out, address it on my wall, planning actually to have a podcast after a year. I will be having a podcast on it today, tomorrow, and I will be on it. When I was approached a couple of months ago to come on Spoon, I didn't think twice. The reason was simple. I have been around these things for long, and I know how hard is it to build such a platform. I think I called the show one time and I said something to you, Stanton. You didn't know me at that time. I said, you got something good going on there, but be careful. And the tip was I think Musa Belete were on that night. And I meant to tell you something, but that was a long time ago. But honestly, this platform has become an integral part of our information dissemination system. You ask everyone in Liberia, people call, I heard you on Spoon, I hear you on Spoon. Who knew Keith Hassan? Keith Hassan, when we used to be on live, I got chat messages from Keith Hassan.
I beg you guys, I beg you, Fadiga.
I know you don't like for people to call names.
Yeah.
I don't know
No, Fadiga. It's not Fadiga. Because this thing is going
Yeah, I know
legally.
you don't like to call names.
No, it's not that. What I'm saying, because it's going into the legal dimension, we don't want to discuss
that's why
it.
I will address
Yeah. So let's just move on.
No. Let me say this. Let me say what I gotta say. I will address it on my show. That's why I already put it there. But what I want to say is, who is President Weah that people cannot discuss? This man was promiscuous from the moment he told me. I have been saying this forever. There is nothing new yet. This man is walking naked in Liberia. You know how many girls that I talk to that are into Iowa will go to Liberia? These guys, they sleep with the president. They call him Mr. 5000 and giving them one Toyota Camry. Look, Liberia, there is no secret in that country. Everything down to what goes on in the president room. If you are irresponsible, people will see it. This is something that has been going on for long. For someone, but all I would say is that a platform was created to do exactly what happened yesterday. It was organized. It was a carefully orchestrated something that everyone on that institution knew about. Don't mind all that team pretending they're playing with the fake something. They all knew about it. And I'm mostly surprised and disgusted by some of the women in the ANC. And I don't say this all because of politics. It's still, I supported Cummings before. I just, for personal reason, I withdrew my support. But these women, something wrong with someone ahead. And that is the reason why abuse continue in our community, because women are one of the mean people that condone it. For whatever reason, instead of them condemning things, I don't know what's going on with some of our women. Because I think it's this, I don't know. But some of you women, the thing that you're supposed to stand for, you don't stand for it. And when I go around and see some of you trying to make justification, this has nothing to do with Mr. Cummings. It has nothing to do with politics. It's when you stand for something, stand for it all the time. I have seen women condone rape. I have seen women condone all kind of bad things in our community, and they sit there and they always find reason to justify it. What happened yesterday was reprehensible. I think everybody should have frowned on it, and all those that aided and abetted that should be denounced. And
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ahassan. Councillor Lame.
Yeah, I mean, I would limit my comment to just a few words on this matter. While we were on the show last night, the information was ongoing that there was some information, there was something going on. So today I watched the video. I mean, it was really a bad thing. It reminded me of the time we were kids. You know, I used to want to be making fun that Eugene can take the ball and run away. You know, that's the kind of thing it reminded me of. You know, when small children deciding to get at each other. Say, the man says something about, you know, like say, you know, when you were children, you tell the saying, you say, where's the man food? And the kind of thing I was like, you know, where's the man food? I tell you, where's the man? I seem to say you get your man eat sin. That's how it sounded like to me. You know? So he said, oh, the man talk about my own man, I will talk about him. I mean, you can insult man to man, you can do your stuff, but why drag another person into it? That was the unsavory part. You know, that picking behavior, that unsavory picking behavior. I mean, we all should have been doing all of that thing by now. But for someone to still be doing that thing, oh, you know, the man, and I didn't really understand why the guys didn't just end the program at that point. It was disgusting. I mean, I'm going to respect the fact that the parties involved say they're going legal about it. So that's as much as I would say about it. It came across to me like, you know, that's the small thing we used to do. Where's a man food? We take the same from on the ground. I sounded like gotta go beyond those things. And to the point that Fadiga made about people defending things, one of the disgusting things we have in our societies. People take positions because of their political standpoint. When something is negative about somebody who they think is not one of their political allies, they are up in arms on that issue. Those same people, when the situation changes, they will automatically change and go on the other side. we have to take a stance against those kind of behaviors. They are very disgusting. Seriously speaking, they are disgusting. So that's as much I would say about that, because the parties involved, I said they're going legal about it. So I think we should respect that. I'm sure you will get the best legal advice on how to proceed if you decide to pursue that legal argument. So I will just stop at that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me bring in our brother Gibson.
I will take it from another perspective. For me, you're not going to just sue Hassan if you want to do that. You're going to sue the institution and all those who are holding ownership to that institution. You can't sue Facebook because they have a disclaimer on that. But all those who established that group, all those who were there, that control, that had the ability to stop him and did not stop him. And that's where I felt a little bit disappointed in some of the people who were present on that Timani George and the other brothers who were there. I thought they were going to stop him. I watched the video when I watched the whole video. I thought they were going to stop him. First of all, this is how people get killed in our country. People acting on behalf of the power when they were not told to act on behalf of the power. So imagine if Kev Hassan had gone and he met you in the darkness. What could he have done? Acting on behalf of President
Gibson, please. Let's just avoid calling names.
So
legal.
It's just that's the perspective I wanted to take it from. I don't think George Weah is above discussion, and he is not George Weah. You didn't attack him personally, so I don't know what was it. It was not warranted at all to even attack anybody because of George Weah. I think it was just not good. But again, let's talk about who George Weah is. Is there a secret in Liberia that George Weah is promiscuous? His wife is aware that he is promiscuous. He's so promiscuous that it's so easy for anybody to and those of us who talk to people a lot, we know that George Weah is promiscuous. So if somebody says George Weah is promiscuous, his party chairman say he's promiscuous, everybody say he's promiscuous. So why is my brother Kev Hassan taking the issue so bad that he has to go and fight for George Weah? I think people should need to stop those kind of things. And I'm really disappointed in not only Hassan, but disappointed in all those who were on our show who could not stop him. I think that is the bottom line. They should have said, no, Hassan, you can't go there. You can't do that. We can't let
you very much.
But nobody.
They sat quietly, patiently.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Again, let's just limit this because let's just limit this because when things go in legal, we got to be very mindful. But I want to say thank you very much. Let me bring in my sister Cole. Go ahead, Mama.
Yesterday is regrettable. It's something that we should all condemn. I followed the show as I was driving, and I did not make mention of it in my opening because I respected those involved. I did not hear it when I was driving, so I felt that it was something you would love to discuss another way. But Dr. Richardson, I did reach out to the CEO Stanton because I didn't have your number. I want you to know that we're in solidarity with you. And I want you to know that you're not alone when women are in the limelight, when women are in tough political space. These things happen. It comes with the territory. And it's unfortunate that you, your family, your grown children will have to hear something like that. And I do not cherry pick it. And why I denounce this, and I think it's something that we need to take away from our public space, from our political discussions. I also even denounce the fact that we have to be speaking about Honorable Nebo, aka ice cream or whatever, as a woman. Is a disservice to her. By the party chairman of the CDC, Moluba Molu, saying it doesn't give us credence to sit here and discuss her or discuss Ase Musa's daughter. That's a tag, even if they facilitated it due to their own ignorance, because these are things that people have always held over women. You were talking about a country where allegedly millions of dollars are missing, where there have been lives of auditors that ended in ways that we have not had answers to or good closure to. And we pick up on this person like this girl, this person went with this girl, and all in it, women are being demeaned. I saw an attempt yesterday to get at, Mr. Waterspoon, maybe for his outbursts or his comments. But who got caught up in the crossfire? Who became the greatest casualty? It was Dr. Richardson. So our society, as it is and has always been, men have unparalleled advantage, especially in this kind of space. So as a woman, it is not right for Dr. Richardson. It is not right for Honorable Nebo from the Freeport. I denounce it. Even if Moluba Molu said that, I categorically frown on it and condemn her name being mentioned on this platform in such a manner. She does not deserve that. I denounce it when it has to do with the daughter of Ase Musa, even if she said it out of her own ignorance. And I want us to protect women. You know, the revolutionary Sankara, who I really follow, he said that if the men are serious, he said, comrades, if you are serious for political revolution, it cannot be done without the involvement of women. And at this time, we need the space of women to be protected on these platforms. So I denounce any form of attack on those women in the name of going after men. We know how our society is. It's good that we've decided, the families involved have decided to take the legal stance on this. That is what you have the law for. That's what court houses are for. And I'm sure that in this country of law, you will be able to have an adjudication that is fitting for what happened. I'm sorry. My apology to you and your family. We're in solidarity, but I want you to keep your head up. That's what a strong woman does. I'm happy to see you on here today. And all of my salutes, and we're praying with you and your family during this difficult time. The attack was on you. It was not on Stanton. As far as our society describes it. So I would just like to denounce that and let you know that we condemn and disparage abuse against women from the rescue mission. That is not who we are. Our vision bearer is one who aspires to have Liberian women operate in a free space, to have them being stakeholders in their own society. And as you will see, we are here to stand by you and stand with you, regardless of where we come from politically. I
thank you very much. Thank you, man. We're seeing that Mo Adi just joined, so Dr. Rich is in 1 minute because we have to move on to the discussion for the day. Yeah. Mo Adi, you like to weigh in on what you're hearing so far?
Well, I'm not sure, but what I was hearing, but judging from the ending of Nepe's statement, I have not taken my time to listen to anything, to be very frank with you, because those are not the things I normally would want to listen to. If somebody told me, oh, the dealing with a person or that other person, the dealing where I want to hear with, that the dealing with the person politically, maybe the dealing with the person Kennedy, or they made some kind of statement and the dealing with that statement, that one I will rush to hear. But to go hear somebody dealing with someone, whether it is true or not, their personal affair, it doesn't excite me. I don't see any excitement in it. I don't think anyone should intimidate somebody because you fabricate your own lie. If I ever Dr. Richardson, I would say, hey, but we'll fire on the issue. They should deal with JMB, I would deal with coming. The same thing with every other person. I believe we should be at that. I despise what happened over there, the things that were said. I don't think they should find their way into our political discourse, because those are some of the things that people used to do that keep other people, other gender on the sideline. And like Nyampe said, Dr. Richardson, I like your courage. I have similar courage too. You don't mind some of these things and just go corner yourself.
No.
Because they will always say, them, we come here, we do our discussion, If we're happy with each other, we blow small on our candidate, then we'll go, we'll sit down, and that it will come back the next time we laugh, because the space should be created for everyone to freely interact. Once we can freely interact, but I think that people are doing the people are passing around with it. I have not taken my time to listen to it, and I'm not going to listen to it. And I'm happy that you people are in a country where if you get evidence, you can go to court. Yeah, if that in Liberia, you talk all those nonsense, we just let it go. But on our side, if let somebody say if that agency go to court, I can't will get fair with her. That's fine.
Thank you very much, bro. Again, folks, we want to say that to Richardson, we all stand by you. And because you are on spoon, they misfire. I don't want peace. Like Fagon will always say, I want trouble. And the trouble here, send it to me. You know, let's talk about the issue. Before we bring in Dr. Richardson, let's move on. I agree with you, Mempe. I've asked James, I'm not even going to play that clip because they have other women names on it. We're not denigrating them.
Thank you, CEO.
We discuss this issue about George Manawia. We discuss whatever thing George Manawia are doing that is not right, but we will not discuss any other female because we have to respect them. If Malu said it, because you hear that Richardson here, I didn't know that you had that screen name in it. I will not play it. And because of that, we will be moving in that direction. Dr. Richardson?
Can I say one thing? Just one short thing. Standard, I don't know who control this platform, but I think there is a need that I don't know whether it's Gedeh that is monitoring this platform.
We're blocking them. They are.
Yeah, just block them. Yeah,
they are.
But they have been
All right,
going on, but not yet. All right, cool.
You will have the chance to block likewise, because again, we just started advising folks do not insult. But James is blocking them. Dr. Richardson, it's all yours, man.
Yeah, I just want to tell you guys, my colleagues here today, thank you very much. Call, that was a good call. We should respect women, and playing their names is also a replication of abusing them. It's very similar to what I just experienced. It's something that we need to talk about. Sexual and gender-based violence in Liberia is huge. Rape is the second highest crime in Liberia. And we know that it affects the woman or man psychologically. It can cause traumatic issues for you, depression, anxiety. Socially, you can have distrust for people, difficulty engaging in relationship. Cognitively, sometimes have difficulty concentrating. And so what we need to do is, someone like when Mr. Cummings gets elected, he definitely will strengthen the legal system. He definitely will make sure he believe in family value, because
for Digga. She comes to
you give me a chance to talk to Tia. I got special privilege. I hope you heard that, okay? Y'all give me special privilege today. Anybody, I'll put my female card on when I start talking. So anyway, Mr. Cummings, he's been married for over 40 years to one woman, Mrs. Teresa Cummings. You've seen her. I think when sometimes Fadiga and I talk, he said that woman used to be out on the campaign trail more. She attracts people. She has Liberia, at heart. So definitely he has 2 children, and those are the things that we have to do. We have to begin to admire and keep our family structure together as it used to be. Yes, the war had a lot of erosion of our family system, but we can still bounce back, and that's what we all need to be doing and talking about. So thank you guys. I appreciate you today, and always I do. Thank you.
And so thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Moving forward, we have no further discussion on this issue, because when things hit the court, you got to be quiet. You follow your legal advisor. Those are your lawyers, and those are folks that will be representing you in court. Again, I didn't watch the clip. I heard it from the grapevine. I have no interest. I do not watch any other network but Spoon. But on that note, we move on. We ask you to invite your brothers, your sisters, and invite your friend. We're going to be starting with the first conversation tonight, and we'll be bringing in Eugene Lamifagon. Eugene, You said before we go to this thing here about JMB now and ANC and that of Taiwan Gonglo, we get a 3 set here. Eugene, you are the former seditious. You talk about Jose Yiman Bwaka receiving the biggest endorsement ever. Let's have a conversation on that, brother. You're muted.
If you know your country very well, I'm sure you did not have the opportunity to use as a means of transport the keke or the motorcycle, and so you wouldn't understand what it feels like and how convenient it is for travelers who do not have cars. You, Stanton, you hire your little bodyguards, AB Kuma bodyguards, your air-conditioned car, but those guys are the largest. Look, man, if you even make a mistake and hit one of their motorcycle, just settle right there before the next 400 gather. There are, around the country, hundreds of thousands of them around the country in all 15 counties. We're not talking about keke alone. We're not talking about just the motorcycles. If they can come up to decide that JMB is the man, I keep saying, and I'll say again, the newspapers carry it. You can put up the different newspapers. So no one can come argue here and say, oh, that was just, even the newspaper owned by Wilson Tappet, the former commerce minister and now EPA boss, carried it. It is the biggest endorsement. So if even you talk about 40 senators, and you know that Zopian and I running again.
I gotta interrupt you though. Because I spoke to what's his name, Nathaniel McGill, last year or so. And Nathaniel McGill, the former Minister of State, they were seeking the endorsement of the KEKED and the group you are talking about. And they pledged their allegiance to Josh Manawia. Do you believe them now because they're behind Jose Yima Bwaka?
I have several reasons to believe them now. Not only believe them, but at least you spoke to Nathaniel McGill, but I was present. And besides speaking to Nathaniel McGill, I was the one that negotiated the deal. So who are you talking to? You're talking to the negotiator. I negotiated the deal. So I know.
Be very clear, though. You negotiated the deal for them to support Josh Weah.
Not last year. Not last year.
Okay, so talk to us about it. Let's set this up.
Motorcycle deal. I had a place on the highway, a highway called Transit, Musa Beach Junction, Transit. That's where I took the president, the vice president, the secretary general, all of them. I treated them well. We had a good meal. Not one time, two times, we had several meetings there. So my record is quite clear when I was in the country. I have reasons to believe them and the story. And here is why. Over the last 3 years, some of the things we promised to them, and I was one of those who promised that I was going to hold a league in Monrovia that would have ended at the SKD Sport Complex because of their population, which means the truck drivers were going to play the bus drivers. And then you had the taxi drivers. The two champions from there would have played the keke and the motorcyclists at the SKD. Can you imagine motorcyclists playing truck drivers? Can you imagine keke going against taxi drivers at the SKD? Think about that sight in the country. I mean, judge me out, man. Sometimes it can make you want to cry. 3 days, me and those people were meeting at the Transit at my business center. We crafted everything. I am saying to you now,
wrap it up.
Over the last 3 years, what have motorcyclists benefited in terms of anything whatsoever? But rather abuse. So,
okay,
the 3 newspapers, you should show it. So that is why I don't believe for a second or blink that they are lying. It's over. This election, that's the independent. Bro, that's the analyst. And that's the news, that's it. If the CDC own newspaper can be reporting this election is over.
Let me bring in the other guys, Fagon. Thank you very much. Let me bring in. Listen, I cannot go to another UP supporter. Let me go to Jero. Gibson Jero, Mr. Jero. You believe something about this group, though? It's like they just follow the leader. You believe them? You are muted, Gibson.
First of all, the picture you see on the newspaper is what we call superimposed. Those people were not in that setting. I'm a newspaper layout person. That's a superimposition. They took JMB picture and took the other people picture where they were meeting before, and then they superimposed it. So they were not. It was not a meeting where JMB was present. That's the first thing I want to say. Number two.
No. Wait.
So I'm gonna look at you.
Say that again. You saying the people are to us?
Let's see.
That particular picture is not a real picture.
Are you talking about this one?
Yes, that one is a superimposed. Look at JMB.
But the part is the thing happened.
No.
You're talking about picture?
Fadiga, wait, let him talk. Because I was disputing. I was
Wait, Mr. Gibson, go ahead. Which one?
Mr. Gibson doing that graphics.
Wait, Gibson, which one you talking about? Which one you talking about? This one?
The newspaper one. The newspaper.
This
one is superimposed.
Okay. How so? I beg you, guys. Let's get the man chance now. How so, Gibson?
I just send the pictures.
If you ask anybody who worked with me in Liberia, I'm a layout person. I do layout. My first associate was in graphic design. So I'm a graphic designer. That part of the money I eat in America. That thing, I can put it in, I can do one more just like that and put it on there, and you people think that George, we are all going to a present. I can do one right now. You can give me 10 minutes, I'll do one and do it there and put it there.
So let me ask you a question. We gotta go. Let me ask you a question. I beg you. And hold on 1 minute. So the outfit that JB is wearing, you say it's fake. That's not the actual program. Are you saying that?
No, that particular program, those two pictures are two different pictures you're looking at, and the people superimpose JMB. Look at the way JMB is standing. That's not how it can be when somebody meeting you. Look at even the position of the people's presence. Wow. Look at the table. Look at the position of the table.
So we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you with the superimposed. Let me go. Don't leave him, my man. You stop by. You stop. I beg you. No. Hey, God.
All the pictures.
Wait. Let me go to Dr. Richardson. Dr. Richardson. The reason why I bring you in, I'll try to do zigzag. Do you believe what he's saying? Superimposed?
I'm going to
hear you, Data. Data will hear you.
You see that Gongo will be.
I can tell from the picture. That particular newspaper, you can tell from the picture that there are two pictures that they kind of combine using graphic design. So you can tell from it. But, I'm not denying that the event happened. But, that does not deter we who support Mr. Cummings from going door to door to state our message. So yes, you guys can get endorsed by all motorcyclists, keke, whatever, but we will continue to make it harder for the Unity Party to win and for CDC to win. That's it.
Wow. Fadiga coming. Fadiga coming. No. Fadiga coming.
Man, you know what?
Like I Richardson enjoying their privilege.
Yeah, to tell them that Richardson. No, actually,
I was
talking to me now. I was talking back to you. So let me finish. Fadiga speak. I will not use women privilege then.
7%. Oh, I will put one talk.
Fadiga.
7%.
There you go.
7%. Oh, one talk. But that's it.
Make it to all.
But that we're not running for election. We'll continue to make it hard for JMB and Georgia. That's what they're running for.
Well, man, we're sure about anything that we're sure about. We got it set already. Go ahead. This thing is crazy.
Superimposed.
I was in the program yesterday. They were talking differently, making me very.
First of all, the suit JMB wore on that particular picture.
Hey, but you are your way, man. My man, your way. Let Fadiga speak. Yeah, I beg you, man.
I love my Gonglo folks. You know, Lamille, you see how he does say that.
Superimposed.
These guys are committed. Superimposed. This other impose, it doesn't matter. The fact here is, look, when you look at Pimpin' Rather, those are the people that were printing their own t-shirts. Those are, when they say we are base, that is, look, that's an integral part of We Are Voting Black that has left. Look, when you take away Zoko, look, we saw Zoko running behind Mr. Comey because he couldn't give them 10. Eugene, how much was it?
That was a superimposed video as well.
No. Wait, that Richardson ain't
Superimposed. Yes.
Wait. I'll see you are protected. Go ahead. You are protected.
Superimposed the world tonight. Thank you,
yes. Superimposed video. I agree with you.
I agree. The superimposed video were running after the two Jeep chucking you.
That is not what happened.
Well, that's why it looked like on the superimposed video. It looked that way. But, you know, so the Pimpin' Ratters are very, strong to see that. Look, the election should be over by now. You're just wasting time. If it left with me,
no, they get cost you for it. People hear when you say that thing. You say election will be over.
You just get out of the race. We look, because look, George, look, every time I think on the fact that George, and he could, that George Weah could be president for the next 6 years. Honestly, I pray for Liberia. I don't know whether we'll have a country if George Weah is president for another 6 years. I swear to God. With the way things going. And I think the people what we need to do more than ever is to continue to tell the Liberian people what is at stake. That you cannot even take it's not even something to think about. This man in the last 6 years, no sound manner person has ever brought the money to Liberia. Not even his soccer player friends. That's how much they do not trust this guy or respect him. No sound person bringing the money in the country. It says a lot about this man. So what they're doing, the D-hole cover hole. We will not know to what extent that George Weah and his homeboys have destroyed Liberia until we get it under the cover. Because when you're in government, you can cover a lot of things. That 2% in Gedeh we're talking about, we're probably in debt to the 2 or 3.
Thank you.
Not even talking about, especially for a group of people that do not play by the rules. Look, Liberians, if you are under the sound of our voices, in Bokon Gedeh or Basso or wherever in Liberia, this election is probably one of the most crucial elections in your life. We have seen that this whole We Are Pro-voting is an illusion. It was just a get-rich-quick scheme. We need to move them. Now, all you got one tax. This is the only time in your lifetime you will take your country back from the people. You have tried it, man. As senator, you gave him your vote. He do nothing. He told you, he said, I do nothing. I built park. Is the park feeding you? Is the market, are those market stores feeding you? He got a thing and those vain project only to put money in your pocket. Liberian, listen. The man already walking with mattress on his back. You getting another Sony again, that's one thing. I'll rest.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You are quite correct. We'll bring in the other guys, but just keep this in mind, though. Since George Weah took over, besides IMF, World Bank, is there any other investor that entered the country with billions of dollars, millions of dollars, besides what he met? I just want you guys to think about whether it was real or not. Let me now go to Councillor Pakor. No, I'm not going to Pakor. Let me bring in Mepe. After Mepe, we'll go to Pakor, then Mo Adi will speak last because he was at the program. Mepe, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yeah. You see the issue of the motorcyclists, like Honorable Fagon said, that is one of the biggest endorsements you can have, as that is the motorcyclists. When it comes to the informal sector, that's where you have a bulk of our people employed. They're keke drivers, they are motorcyclists. If you look at Liberia now, bulk of our people are employed in the informal sector, and that group of people, comprise of a larger percentage of our people in that sector. I'm a massive type of person, unlike, some of you guys who are very privileged. When I was in Liberia last month, and in April, I remember I had to go see a friend in rehab, and I live Kennedy, so I just got in the keke. When I got in the keke, I saw this poster of JNB. It was the poster to encourage people to register. And I asked the guy, I said, "Bo, you supporting JNB?" The man said, "Oh, yeah, they play with her. We know how things go in the country now." The man even started to campaign to me. He started to hustle me. I said, and I was very, encouraged by that. So I'm trying to let you know my own experience in a keke. It tells me that the story you read is authentic. This group of people loved the CDC and the leadership, not without a cause. People vote for people they can identify with people they were comfortable with. Initially, 18 years ago, that was their base. That's where they felt at home. But I'll tell you something. Maybe I would like to say long time in opposition, I still maintain this, have a way of diluting revolutionaries. It has a way of corrupting revolutionaries. It has a way of, separating people from the vision. So you have 12 years later, this party comes to power and probably not as connected, or obviously not as connected to their base, their support base, as they have been in previous years. And that was seen in the senatorial by-elections that we have had previously. So I do believe that endorsement was authentic. You saw those people, they spoke about the condition under which they endorsed the candidacy of Honorable Joseph Yiman Boyka. And I understand that Richardson is here to erect some checkpoints and make it difficult for us, but it's a hard battle, because I'm telling you, these people identify with this man. If you do not understand identification, then you have not understood our setting. I remember there was this International Women's Day. I went to Birmingham to celebrate there with the women. And I went with somebody, who did not really understand, who have been away long, like Dr. Richardson. For example, my sister.
Really? You're not showing a crowd, yeah? I was just in Liberia. I was in Liberia more recently than you have been.
Visit to those good places, big places.
No, I have a home in Liberia, by the way.
Yeah, but we're talking about rural Liberia now. So we're in a place called Liberia. We had a place in Manaklan District. We're not talking about rural, pass, go. So when we got on there, my friend and sister, we all wanted to use the bathroom. And she wanted to ask the people, they get the outside bathroom. She came out, finished using the bathroom. The people knew straight, she didn't understand the terrain, because you don't go to the village and ask the people permission. So we're talking about identification in politics. How the people relate. So by the time I used the bathroom and came back to speak to them, they understood I was one of their daughters. So I'm trying to tell you that identification, people vote for people they have confidence in. And that's what you see happen. The shift you now saw with the motorcyclists. They said, we believe in this. We have always believed in this group. These are our people. They are not attending to us. Then we should go to the old man who will also identify with. And I think people who want to get rid of him, or who, as you say, they have to get to that area where they have formed a common ground. I think I got less time.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. We got to go to your brother Mo Ali after Councillor Lamy.
Just say the queer people.
Thank you very much. Councillor Lamy, can you come in? Councillor Lamy, it looked like you are joining us from home. Your background seems different, but that's good. Talk to us, Councillor. You got to unmute.
So it looks like we're back on the endorsement politicking again. Just a couple of days ago, the condemnation was against the legislators that were endorsing the CDC. So you can't have it both ways now. When the people have their own endorsement thing, you'll get angry about it. When your own people come, they are hailing. I mean, they forget about all that thing. Yeah, I can understand. You know.
So Gonglo, when I receive any endorsement,
Just yesterday, you know, no, but the irony about it is that just yesterday, you guys were on the CDC people back. How people were this, that, all kind of stuff.
But there's an endorsement from the masses. I want to make it different. Massive endorsement from the masses.
Remember, there are thousands of Liberians out there that will not come out to endorse anybody. If you were to go by the anecdotal evidence that you just provided of people, of you riding in an auto rickshaw, you were talking about an auto rickshaw that you rode in, right? And you asked the guy because he had a sticker. Huh? He had a sticker.
Baby was he had the neck. Super.
No, that's the actual name. That's the actual name for it. The actual name for it is auto rickshaw. That's the actual name. You know, so you were riding in it, and you talk to this guy. I mean, there are several of those things that go around with other people's stickers. I've seen some with money back stickers. I've seen them with plenty of different stickers. And a lot of them will come in say stickers. I've seen all those things. So that anecdotal evidence, I mean, there are thousands of people out there. They're the moral majority. There is a moral majority of Liberians out there. Those are the people for us we talk to all the time. Because for them, their welfare matters. For them, it's not an issue of going on in the press to say where they stay on issues, because they know what affects them, what affects their bottom line. They know it. And you know, we've been talking to plenty of those people. I mean, since I got on this show, you won't believe how many people are running all the time. And they'll basically say, you know, we like the fact that you and Jeru are over there now. At least you've taken the weight off that the Richardson to combat all the UP people. I mean, there are hundreds of people. So yeah, yes, you know.
Thank you.
Those people all the time. All the time.
Thank you. Alice.
This endorsement when the CDC people do it a bad thing for you. When you do it, then a good thing.
So let me say this. I think if CDC get an endorsement from the masses, then we say yes. But they're getting the endorsement as a rewind. As a rewind. But that.
We were talking about child abuse. The abuse with children.
But listen, we will come there. Consider. I thought you finished. Consider. Let's go to Mo Ali now. We got to move to the next.
I send you several pictures. Kenton, I send you several pictures. I want this Gibson Jeru first.
It's not fair to me, but
no, Gibson.
Go ahead now. Let's get to Mo Ali.
Guys, from what you said.
Guys, let's just move up. Mo Ali, go ahead, please.
Now I send you several pictures. I want to disprove Gibson.
Yeah, but start talking now. We'll put it up. Go ahead.
So yesterday,
I'm not the same picture on a newspaper. Look at it. Look at the picture you said.
Gibson, I beg you. Let him speak. I beg you, sir.
You see the picture with Ambassador Baka hand showing? Now, when you wrote the picture, that's me, and there he sits. It's at the program that I was speaking. Wrote the picture, move on. You see the group there? Last night I talked about this program. These are coordinators and county heads of motorcyclists from the 15 counties and from many of the districts around the country. Move on, you will see also you will see Rescue 2 talking to them. And you know what he was telling them? He told the guys and said, we all started all with motorbikes, riding keke and taxis, and I am your representation on this team. I want you, you know, last night I told you about this story the guy narrated. The president general of the motorcycle union, John Kenyon. Just roll on, you will see him. These are social guys. Now, this guy and Jeremiah Kuhn were in class. They were all schoolmates, classmates, in fact. They graduated together and all those kind of stuff. Move on. I just want
remember just talk about, but we time moving on about talk about.
No, but that's super imposing. Now, to Mr. Anedetto, in endorsements are not the same. If I jump out and organize Mo Ali, Steven Johnson, Daba Vapila, Warwick Bryant, Cornelius
What any daughter got to do with endorsement issue? She said something and I said that was any daughter. Why you got to do with what you saying, Mo?
I will come to anecdote.
No, but Mo, right?
Because
You know the meaning of a word
was
you miss you say.
superimposed.
You know the meaning of a word you miss you say. Why would you do that?
No, because anecdote was
said something and says
superimposed.
anecdote. You know the meaning of that word. Why you want miss you say?
But
why you
why
miss
was it superimposed on us?
No. You said anecdote because I refer to what
but
you said.
let the man finish.
You know the meaning of the word. Why you want to miss you say?
Let him finish. Let me listen, guys. Listen. The man have his right to speak. Let him finish.
But I mean, you shouldn't try to make fun of something that he knows what it means.
You will have time to respond. You will have time to respond, please. Mo Ali, please go ahead. You get 10 more seconds.
Man, the word was superimposed.
I got 10 seconds. So that endorsement is absolutely different than Mo Ali getting on and say, I endorse Joseph Boakai. Who has time for that kind of endorsement? How does my own brother Akaros Gray, Thomas Pala, Sir Joseph, President Pro Tem, people going to endorse Josh? We are equate to people who represent thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. These people, they are the best campaigners in this country. You get on their motorbike, they campaign to you. You get in their keke, they campaign to you. And guess what? They are transporting people in every nook and corner of this country. Everywhere they play cars, can reach motorbike and reach there. You see people as far as coming from Kongba district in Bapolu, people coming from Gedeh, from Riverside, from Maryland. They were all part of that group. And they came, we gave them a dime. They say, we come to endorse you. Like I narrated last night, the guy said in 2017, when Reverend Luther Tappe asked them to endorse Joseph Boakai, they told him, said, no, we're not doing it. We're going with our man, George. We are our man there. They say we endorse him, we campaign for him, we voted for him. At the end of the day, we say he will cook food for us. What he brought, cocaine and kush. I told the guy story yesterday. This was the director, the president general, who said Koji called him in his office and told him, said, recall me. When you are funny, we'll come to your house, we will get rid of you, your wife, your children, and your mother. That the endorsement you say that superimposed. The anecdotal part there is that the people represent the masses.
Yeah.
They are the masses. These are
Thank you, guys. We got to move on. We got to move on. You make your point. You make your point, but
I see that 1.5 to now. 1.5.
You make your point, but let me say this. I will agree somewhat with Gibson, Councillor Lamy, and Dr. Richardson. It is important, though. I don't think that you guys should have your faith, your 100% belief that those folks standing behind Joseph Boakai. I don't think so. I know this is politics.
What if incentivized pledge of support gives you confidence? They didn't receive nothing.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk.
Before you move on, I got breaking news. I had this news since 2 days now. President, we have brought in 75 pickup trucks, 1,300 motorcyclists. And while y'all were talking, that the people said, call me. President, where the people want you to know if you decide to get them 1,300 motorbikes, they will use it to campaign against you. And if NSCDC know what I'm saying is true, and they know that I got my drones and the cycles as well as the trucks, pickup trucks are in town, then let them challenge me. Those boys are saying you're bringing us out, they will ride, but they will not suffer for another 6 years.
Let me thank you very much. Those things are happening in the country very fast. We don't know what's going on. But I will go back to you again. We started with you, Fagon, on the issue about these guys, Samuel Twer, Eugene Nagbe going to the Capitol building. Let's talk. Women, seriously, everybody get about a minute, 30 seconds. We have to run with this thing. Go ahead, Minister Fagon.
I'm so sorry that we ran over this thing yesterday so fast. But this has never happened anywhere in the world. I read the Constitution, Article 3, So there is no debate about that. You leave the executive branch of government. You come to the first branch of government. You could have stayed in one of the offices, asked the sergeant of arms to carry the message, but you open the people door while they are in chamber. You are from the executive branch of government, and then you open the door, you enter. You did not even ask for excuse. You walk up while section is going on and a debate is happening. Go to the pro tem ES, say what you got to say there, and the pro tem wakes up and follow you like an order. If this does not bother any Liberian, then of course, you're not a true Liberian. Our constitution is very clear as to the separation of our various branches of government, for checks and balances, for separation of powers. And it is very clear as to no one holding office in the other branch or trying to exercise work in the other branch. And to just see two, and you know this network is reputable, but that was an act of buffoonery. To just look at two buffoons who, like, you didn't go to school. You could have just said, hey, can you call the sergeant of arms? I'm the sergeant at arms. Yeah, carry this note to the pro tem. Just put it in your hand. Pro tem, look at the note. To an hour outside, we brought very serious message for you. Please come out so that we can deliver it. But you open the door, you march in at will, you ignore Article 3, you go up there, you command the pro tem.
Thank you.
Take him outside. Now, the letters I got from senators today is that they met today. They're going to take action on Monday. My understanding now is there are 15 opposition senators on board. All they need is one more or two more senators.
Are they going to remove are they going to deal with the pro tem? Is that where you're going with this conversation?
I don't think they will deal with the pro tem. From my discussion with them, it appears as though until election day, nothing will happen in that Senate until the president comes there and apologizes for them overstepping their bounds and invading the chambers of the Senate. And there are 15 opposition senators, and they are hoping that 3 will cross over to make that vote possible on Monday when they meet. They're hoping to lobby. On Tuesday when they enter the chamber. And let me say this before I go. If President Weah refuses, nobody will be confirmed over there. Nothing he sends over there will be signed, and nothing will be done until election day. They will protect the sanctity of the first branch of government and make sure that nobody does it in the future. They do not want our children to see it ever happen again.
Thank you very much, Minister Fagon Alpha Dika. These guys enter into the Capitol building, drag out the pro tem while he was in session, and they have a conversation with him. Disregard to another branch of government. Talk to me.
Well, there is a term for those our legislature. In America, they call them do nothing legislature or legislators. We have a lot of do nothing legislators in Liberia. And I don't know why this is a problem. It's not a problem. How many times we haven't had these guys on here who say, oh, we can't do nothing. They got no money. I mean, if I was president for Liberia today, we'll find some kind of means to dissolve that other branch of government and save whatever $65 million that we're spending on them, because I don't see why we're spending that money. That money could be well spent on the Liberian people. But this is Liberia. It's not going to happen. So we have to deal with this. But one place I found solace is the fact that we have a lot of people that are getting that understanding what is at stake. And when we had Senator Barney here the other day, he reassured me. I mean, people may say all kinds of things about him, but certain things, certain keywords he used here, he reassured me that there is still hope for Liberia. Because honestly, the president is as effective or as bad as the legislators. And what we are seeing here, the president have doing everything is because we have a very weak institution that is our legislature. Sure. So there's nothing surprising. These guys, they serve at the will and pleasure of the president. We heard Yeke say it. We heard all the people saying it. So it is what it is. This is why we need to do. We know where to fix this in October. We can fix this in October. That's the only thing. But can we do anything? We just talk about it. But we can fix this in October. That's all I would say.
Thank you very much. Let's get Sis Mempa Gono.
Oh, thank you very much. You know, I wouldn't like to be hypocritical about this. The conduct of legislators. You know, even in the lower house, you have them in session and they are behaving, you know, not above reproach amongst themselves. And people get to see this. They disrespect, they show each other in the house and doing their deliberation, and they think it's a normal thing. And now you get people from the executive going there and entering session, and we want to make a big deal of it, even though it's wrong. It is wrong. They should have followed the procedure like Honorable Fagon said. They could have spoken to the Sergeant at Arms and say we have an emergency. Well, that's not because we're in election times now that we're like few days to the elections. Who know how they have been operating with the executive? Maybe the guys been going in the house before and just walking to the man and say, my man, let's go. Just you go in your friend classroom. Because we have seen videos of things in the legislators fighting. We need to look at ourselves, even when, like Brother Lamy said earlier, even if it involves people that we support or are in our support base and say they erred or they have erred. So they themselves have not conducted themselves well over time. Today, you have it coming from the executive. But what it shows is not a matter of fact that someone acted disrespectful and walked there. What I am afraid of, what moves me, is that imbalance of power. The fact that the Minister of Finance, who holds the purse of the executive, can walk in there and can, you know, and get the pro tem to follow him. It says a lot. It's scary. It shows imbalance of power. It shows that the executive can be able to mastermind things. I think that's what we should be looking at from that angle more than, and you know, they just disrupted the session. Thank you. As they said, they will call the president. I think they need to summon those men. I don't know why the president, I don't understand. They need to summon Tue and Honorable Nangwe, if those were the people there. And let's start off from there. But my point is not just for them to come there and apologize. But the mere fact that happened under the watch of the sitting pro tem, it shows a huge imbalance of power.
Thank you very much. We want to say thank you very much, Cole. Let me get to Councillor Lamy. Councillor?
I mean, I think the major problem here is the fact that we have a legislature that has people who do not understand their power. The legislative branch of government is the most powerful branch of government. And the reason is simple. The legislative branch of government is the only branch of government that has the authority to fire the other two branches of government. But for some strange reasons in Liberia, people do not seem to understand that. And my sister just made one of the mistakes just now. She said the finance minister controls the purse string. That's not true. The legislature controls the purse string. But because these guys do not know it, they think that when you pass the budget, because those people are the ones that disperse the money, so it means that they control the money.
Yeah, but you see how they see it, the disbursement of the funds. I understand their vote, but the disbursement of the funds, that's why the finance minister is powerful.
Apart from that, if they spend outside the budget, they will be violating the law, right? So you pass the budget already, you say spend the money this way. If they decide to do it otherwise, they will be violating the law. You can hold them for that. But because they do not understand that they have that power, we continue fostering dictatorship in a country because these people do not understand that they have that power. And that's the reason why some of us are supporting somebody who is interested in changing that dynamic. We need to have.
After what you're talking about, endorsement politics here.
Change comes from the top in Liberia. So we can have somebody come to power in the country. So we can have somebody come to power in the country who will change the power dynamics from the top. This country will not change at all. I can show you that.
I agree.
And that's the reason why. That's the reason why. You know, since 1971, a lawyer has not become president in Liberia. And lawyers make the best politicians anywhere in the world. Lawyers make the best politicians. Lawyers make the best leaders.
That's not true.
So we need a lawyer to come to office in this country to correct the flaws. To correct the flaws in our governance process. And the only lawyer that has the ability of doing that is Councillor Gongoro. And
Thank you.
have to come from the
Let him be free to speak. I beg you guys.
He's not interested.
Let the councillors finish.
Yeah, you see, when we talking good about other people, then they're trying to cut in. You know, one of the posters, one of the people on the show just said they got us, you know, they show that Unity Party show. But I mean, I understand you people are 4.5 to 3.
I mean, it's not 4.5 by star, but you have
no,
limited time.
But my brother, we use qualifiers like lawyer.
Yeah, but hold on now.
About other legal
hold
minds
on.
in the country.
Look all around the world. Obama was a lawyer. Obama was a lawyer.
Hold on 1 minute.
They are the best. The best leaders are lawyers. That's true. That's a fact.
No, you see, I Councillor
we can't
Gongoro
have
say,
that.
a lawyer that can do that.
Vanishing is a different quantity, Chief. Vanishing is a different quantity.
So listen, let's move on now. So thank you very much, Councillor. Let me finish up, please.
Let me complete my thought now. So we need to get the legislators to understand that they are not paper tigers. Most of them do not realize that they are not paper tigers. We need to get them to realize that. And it will only happen, and let me just say this for free, it will only happen 2 ways. Either we have somebody at the top in a presidency that is prepared to divest the presidency of all those ill-accumulated powers, or we elect a cadre of people in this country. 2/3 of them in the Senate, which should be like 20 senators, and 2/3 of them in the House, which should be like about 65 representatives that have one mind, and that one mind is to change the country. 2/3 majority both ways, we will change this country, even if we have if we have somebody like Mr. Weah in a presidency who's not interested in running the country. If you have strong legislators, the country will function. But again,
Brother Richardson, please take the show.
Is that?
Okay, sure. Go ahead, Lami. Finish your thoughts.
The sad thing is that we have not elected the best people to our politics yet. We are not elected the best people to leadership in this country yet. In 170-something years, we have not elected the best of us. We have some of the best of us right now on the ballot to help to make change. Abuse all of us, every single one of us. My namesake, Eugene, Fadiga, Kou, Dr. Chinwe, my brother Muali, he myself used to think the same way. I don't know why he's on different side right now. Jake Gibson, we all got to get together. We all have to get together and change this country. More, you myself used to talk with Mary Sanikole. We talk about the same things. We went to Cape Man, we talk about the same things. Why are you on a different side?
We need to change this country. Only around.
That is why you need to
different things.
Let me go, Mr. Jeru. Let me go to Mr. Jerry, please.
Mr. Jerry? I don't know why they are fighting with Lamy when Lamy says lawyers make the best president. We realize in America, Obama, Clinton, J.F. Kennedy, these are all lawyers, and these are people who we call the best presidents in America.
Lincoln also.
Let me even move further into the issue. You know, when he talks about Kevin Gonglo, I always tell people when I was in Nima the other day, I told them, since I've been following Nima people, this is the best person that Nima has produced for presidency. This is a man with the best integrity. He is the most agile person who has his head on his shoulder to know exactly what he wants to do. So I'm so elated. Look, I'm from Grand Gedeh. I'm from Grand Gedeh. For a Grand Gedeh person to easily endorse a person, it's not easy. And I'm doing that with all my heart. But let me say something about the legislature. I think that's where they focus it right now.
Yeah.
Look, we have to be mindful how to criticize, otherwise we promote them.
Yes.
The issue, I started covering the legislators in 1992. I joined the inquiry in 1991. From 1992 to 1997, I covered the legislature. From that time, I keep covering back and forth. I have seen people move to the speaker and walk the speaker out. I have seen people move and walk the pro tem. I've seen all of that. I think that means that can even attest to that. So people move there, maybe because of national security issue, maybe because the president has an urgent message. I don't know the circumstances. This one happened, but the crux of the matter, I think Mepe talked about it a little bit. It's the part that the people we have in there, I don't know if they really, really know their own powers that they have. Like Lamy said, it is when they realize the kind of power that they have, they will prevent those things. They protest you and say, you know what, I will join you guys later. You can wait for me over there. And in a more official and more decent manner, excuse himself out of there. But somebody just can't whisper in your ear and then just go. It happened many times. I've seen many people do it. I've seen many times. But the issue is the kind of people we elect to our legislature. These are all bought. Somebody talking about 15 opposition. I want to see that 15 opposition acting. Because we really want to see them acting. They should not be taking money from George Weah, because every time issue come up and involve the legislature, they're supposed to take action. We realize that it just dies down because somebody go and express 5,000. Yeah, I'm sorry.
30 seconds, Mr. Jerry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So let's. I mean, we. This is why we want the change. And Councillor Gonglo said he will never bribe the legislature. I believe him.
Endorsement politics again. We got to stay away from that, right?
Yeah. That bribery thing. You're not going to get that from Councillor Gonglo.
I wanted to go back to something that me and Pat said earlier. She talked about identity politics, identification politics. Yeah. And it sounds good, especially when you're in a developed country and people don't, have to worry about, their food and their survival. That's very good. That's what will play out in a developed country. We have practiced identification politics. You see, that's why we have George Weah, right? People wanted to identify. They said we can identify with him. He comes from Nuku Town. He's one of us. But what do we have? What do we have in Liberia? Do we have a deserving government? Do we have a government that is respecting the rule of law, as we're talking about right here, where we have an imperial executive branch that can just walk into the legislature and say, "Hey, you Ben Kanya, I want to talk to you." That is an example of when we focus on things like identity politics instead of focusing on electing someone that will maintain the rule of law in our country. And if you maintain the rule of law, that will sort of trickle down to improving our economy, improving jobs for people instead of working on this harmonization scheme, as Mr. Falcon usually talk about here. It will also focus on educating our children instead of focusing on having them go stand in a courtyard to praising somebody because of wire fee. All right. If we focus on the rule of law instead of this identity politics, we want somebody who who's strong, you know, who will stand for Liberia, not somebody who been in government for many years. And we can see, I asked you yesterday.
Are they saying politics again? You start?
No, I call no name. I call no name.
I'm asking you. I asked
you yesterday, and that's the question. Since I have to take all the show, that's the question I'm going to move to. Where again, what would it take to move our country forward? To move our country forward, how do we need to educate our people about leadership and about citizens' civic responsibility? So let's start with you, Miepe.
Thank you very much. But let me tell you something.
Right, I thought you're on the legislature thing.
Yes, let me tell you.
I'm sorry. Miepe, hold your thought. Let me go to Moali.
All right,
you know you like grammar business, so let's go.
Now that making grumble, I would even love my sister to speak, but
where are you first?
Firstly, I don't like a debate where everybody going on the same side. Everybody bashing the two men who just joined inside that. You know,
exactly.
I was thinking about people said they don't understand their power. I like to see people who understand their power and use it rightly. That's why I used to admire and I still admire the late Chief Justice Johnny Lewis. Even when Gibson Jerusalem, who were in the press, they were misspelling his name and calling his name all kind of way. One day he lined all of them up in the Supreme Court and told them, he said, "Yo, repeat after me. When you addressing me in your papers, you should say His Honor Johnny N. Lewis."
I have to run away that day. I have to run away.
His Honor Johnny N. Lewis, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Republic of Liberia. Mm-hmm. Another day, funny people went there from international organization. They go sit down. They say they can't talk to the Chief Justice about rule of law, blah, blah, blah. The American saw them. Yeah, who are these people? They say they came from some international organization. He said, all of you, come on, get out. You're coming to teach me rule of law. Yeah, your organization ain't even read letter. You come to the Chief Justice. Just the fact that the protein sitting there. And it's not that he's sitting on an ordinary day. It's not session. They're in session and he's presiding. Then somebody just walk in and say, and turn your ear, he give up. Quick abandon session, he go there. But man, that thing, what the guy named who are protein doing trouble time? Some kind of trouble. That one would never happen. What he need the speaker, the executor,
Richard Henry
would never be in session. Some minister just can't walk there.
But why you passing here first?
Exactly. When people understand the magnitude of the position they hold, they will not mortgage it. Why it is true, Lamy said the reality on paper that the legislature control the purse, but they don't believe within themselves that they control it. They believe that it is the finance minister who controls it. But if people were displaying power during any time, that man they called Tyler when he was speaker. Tyler was a very powerful speaker. So they used to get on from the mansion and run and go to Capitol building to go beg them. Whether that medicine job we are playing, or he gets some kind of zeke, or 20 gets some kind of zeke, it's the first time since 2005 now I can hear lawmaker crying, they give all gas for 3 months. They not pay off for 3 months. Anytime, and it will be running to pay them before more end. How they want them to play medicine on them, that they make it just war and all the protein, but that what can happen when you get the protein, the president from the same county. So the protein here now. That is the reason why the Constitution says power should be devoluted by the regions. You can get a power when it's concentrated in one place. You get the president, the deputy speaker, the finance minister, the pro tem, all of them from one country, one region. They wouldn't care. They would run the country like that friendship thing they're doing. And so they don't mind what's happening. The president protest that way as a man, so you can just walk in there anytime and disrespect all the other counties. Because these are our direct representation. The ministers are not. The president appoints them. The other people there, they are direct representation. So when they disrespect them in that manner, they've disrespected all of the 15 counties. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mwali. Absolutely. So let's go to Miape.
All right. Thank you very much again, my sister. I'm enjoying the interaction here. You know, Mwali said something I just remember when he mentioned, peace to his memory, the late Speaker of the House, Richard Hendricks. Those people who served our country. You know, there's a story about Richard Hendricks a lot of people don't know. I would like to educate them. He went to CWA. He was a very smart guy. He became speaker. While at CWA, he ran for class president against Joseph Yima Boyka, and he was massively defeated by the brilliant Boyka, intellectual and swagger of his time.
Let it just say amen.
In that election, and Boyka has a long record of success when it comes to the terrain.
Show me what a text play in.
Oh, go to CWA. Yeah, go to CWA. Listen, let me tell you something that Chinwe Richardson. Those who inflect their role in history, Dr. H.B. Family Junior said, there are people who have made no meaningful contribution because the Congress are still here. There are people here from CWA. Even Mr. Cummings will tell you their story. That when he went to CWA, the records are there. Please do. Please do. So let me let's get past that. But I'm telling you,
but you have to complete that record. JNB Council government. He won John T. Richardson. John T. Richardson living that my record there. Who asked him?
So let me tell you something, right? I tell you this. My dear sister, you talk about identity politics. We shouldn't talk about it. We're not saying it in a negative way. Identity just means commonality. People vote for people they have things in common with. We are a few days to the election. Listen, there was a time when I told you I went to bombing. And then people were talking about the election around the election time, 2017, and somebody said, how is it? How Mr. Cummings in the era? And God knows it's not politics. And then that old man said, the man a good man, he can be a good man. And only thing the people here don't know him. I'm telling you, it's about identity. How much they identify and are comfortable with you. It's just plain blank. There's some people who know you, they hear your name, they say, oh, we always listen to Dr. Richardson, a beautiful woman on spoon. But you put your hand out today to run for position and vote for you because they're not comfortable with you, but they know you. So that's the kind of identity we're talking about. And when it comes to that, our candidate, Honorable Joseph Yima Boyka, Uncle Joe, is someone that over the years, our people have gotten comfortable with. And let me just correct my big brother Gibson there. He went to Nimba and he said, imagine he's from Grand Gedeh. And he lives in this man. No, I want to correct some things that were said against my king's man. No, please permit me to correct. Because when I hear something about my people, I want to correct that. The people of Grand Gedeh and the people of Nimba have close ties. If you look at election results, you will see that in Grand Gedeh, Prince Johnson, he as a mayor, he got over 1,500 votes in Grand Gedeh in 2017 elections. So for you say people from Grand Gedeh liking people in Nimba, we are one people. That's part what has happened. And I will agree with you that Honorable Gonglo is a fine son of Nimba. He's someone the people of Nimba admire. I wouldn't agree with you to say the best. Nimba County is a place. It's a basket of a lot of Yeah, no, when you the way you qualify things is what I want to correct. When you say, you know, I told you
let me just put in that small so you can address my own. Don't forget my supporting Councilor Gonglo, so I'm into that one too.
Oh no, you didn't say that. You didn't say that. Like me, stop. You didn't say that. You didn't say that. You didn't say that. I don't want to argue right now. You know, I just let your business, but you didn't say that. But let me tell you something. He's one of
the rest of us panelists on the show. You let our business.
Yes. I let you, but for some reason, you know, let me get policy background. Let them in. Let me tell you something. He's a lawyer. Let me tell you something.
That's a good start.
When we talk about Nimba, it's a place you find a lot of fan sons. Councilor Gonglo included, Honorable Jeremiah Pankun included. We are very fan sons of Nimba.
Gonglo is the best son of Nimba.
No, you can't say it's the best. It's policy to say something like that is wrong.
He is the best
I would not like to take
the
away from the big brother. I would not like to take away from
I said he is the best person that ever stood for president. He's the best son of Nimba ever.
You gotta protect the gender, man, and Dr. Richardson is interrupting me. So
Okay, we
yes.
No, we don't want
We have other very and equally qualifying fine sons of Nima. I know my brother Lami tried to cover the argument that lawyers make the best leaders. Sometimes around the world they make good leaders. But you see that same group of lawyers, and you know, this thing possible. I mean, there was a time Councilor Gonglo ran to be president. I was so disappointed. I said, it's the most educated group of people, and they look at the man there. They didn't think the man should lead them. It was troubling. It tells you the mindset of our voters, how they vote. Just imagine the top of our class, 14 class, they went to bar association in Basel, they said no. So it is about how and this is why our leader, Honorable Joseph Yima Boyka, connects with
you gotta listen to the moderator.
Thank you.
That endorsement politics will own my people. Mr. Facon, I want to just spend the last 10 minutes before we take some phone calls. To us educating our people again, I agree with Councilor Lamin to move away from the identity politics. Let's educate our people.
No, you didn't say that. Honorable Lamin didn't say that. You said that. Honorable Lamin said that lawyers make
endorsement.
Yes, let's move away from this endorsement politics, okay? And I want to add, let's move away from this identity politics because we had an identity politics and we have a crisis in our country right now. We had George Weah was a person that everybody identified with. He was, you know, he got a country at heart. But y'all see what we have. So now let's educate our people. When they
our people will vote for the best person they identify with. If they identify with Gonglo and they identify with Kumis,
I'll go to Mr. Facon. Hold your thought. I'll get to you if you tell us where people will vote for. Mr. Facon, can you educate Liberians that are listening to you now about what are the civic responsibility? You know, when they make the sacrifice of voting October 10th to remove George Weah, what are they voting for? What's on the ballot for Liberians right now?
Well, they already know their civic responsibilities. That's exactly why they are taking part in the electoral process, because they know their civic responsibilities. If you ask what's on the ballot right now, I will tell you there are lots of things on the ballot, amongst them, but not limited to, the fact that they want a better country. They want to see a Liberia that they know that they can fit in and that they can share in the equity as well as the glory of the country. Now, what's on the ballot for our people? It's more to me like saying, why are they gravitating towards JMB? It's because he's the only candidate that was a heartbeat away from the presidency and that he sat there for 12 years. He is the most experienced, the most qualified, the most knowledgeable, if you like. But more so, he's the one with a record that is unmatched and that no one can bring to parallel with theirs. But let's go to what it is he has done. If we decide to catalog his achievements in public service over a period of 42 years, then of course we will be ending the show tomorrow. Because even last night, Talbot the late, whom we regard as one of the best presidents in the country, was praising his achievements when he served as resident manager for the Liberian Produce Marketing Corporation in Lofa, in the region of Lofa, Bapolu, Cape Mount, Bomi. So if at that stage, if you look at Margaret telling you that he beat the former speaker, and you look at Moore telling you that he beat John T. Richardson, what I can say to you, Dr. Richardson, is this. You say, what's on the ballot? The proliferation of drugs in the country is killing our youth. That's on the ballot. If President Weah could do something about it, he would have done it. But his government now has been exposed to being the facilitator of the proliferation of drugs. We saw during Madam Sirleaf's time that Michael Allison and that of Harry Greaves, their body washed ashore in mysterious ways on the beaches. But now, that happened 12 years ago. 12 years under President Sirleaf, I'm sorry. But just 6 years under George Weah, even the auditors have tripled or quadrupled the amount of deaths in Ellen's 12 years with respect to just auditors. Not other people that we can name, whether it be the son of the late President William R. Talbot, Richard Talbot, or the other son of William Vakanarak, Shadrach Tutman, John Tutman, and other scores of citizens, whether it be EPS officers or what have you.
30 seconds.
It's on the balance when it comes to extrajudicial killings. Let's talk about corruption. It has reached its apex or apogee, or maybe you can say its zenith. There's no return. At the end of the day, we've seen civil servants leave from making 150 United States dollars under Joseph Boakai and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Today, they make $45. We've seen a bag of rice leave from $13 to now $22. Gasoline from $3.50 to $5.50. We've seen their road funds disappear. We've seen 11 million. You will be saying thank you, Hode. But, but last but not the least,
10 seconds, okay?
It's not about what's on the ballot now. 30 seconds now. It's not about what's on the ballot. It's who is on the ballot. And you know who's on the ballot? Joseph Newman Boakai is on the ballot. The man that was given an honor reception at the White House by the Americans. Since he left from there, no other president has done the red carpet. Any debate about that? And so the Americans are waiting for him so that they can repeat what they did when he was only vice president, except that in this case, he will be received
all right.
by the president of the United States.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well said. Mr. Jerry, okay, you want to take over your show?
No, I know you do that. So you.
No, it's my. Let me say something. You know, I like.
You wait for me to ask you the question, yeah, Mr. Jerry.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yes. So the question is.
I mean, what can respond to? Instead of responding to your question, teacher, fair him. You've been teaching long enough. You must fair that woman.
So I want us to educate the Liberian people, and I'm moving away from the endorsement politics that we've been doing almost for the past couple of days.
Let me not get into that Richardson here. So moving away from endorsement politics.
You agree with me, right?
Yes, I agree with you, Cousin Lami.
And she agreed with me too. Both of the ladies agree with me.
I'm not going to respond to you. I was about to.
I'm not big on endorsement politics because the people have made up their minds.
Okay, so I'm not. I was just about to praise you. You're a great speaker.
Excuse me. Let's please protect Mr. Jerry. Let him talk. Yes.
I know. You're protecting. Okay, so honestly speaking, it's not who is on the ballot that should matter, because that's the worst thing that happened to our country. It should be what is on the ballot. We're talking about rule of law should be on the ballot. We're talking about integrity in government should be on the ballot. We're talking about decency in government should be on the ballot. Holding people accountable should be on the ballot. But if it is who is on the ballot, then we are going the wrong trajectory. Because it is the who is on the ballot. Okay, no, don't worry. I will interrupt her when she ready to talk.
No, we will not
The
enjoy
who is on the ballot, the who is on the ballot is what brought George Weah to us. It is the who is on the ballot.
You superimpose him.
No, please protect me.
And a total imposition.
So I don't want to superimpose George Weah anywhere here. But here is the thing, guys. The who is on the ballot is what gets us to elect legislators. It is why we elected George Weah, because people see who is on the ballot. They're not concerned about the issues. We need to be educating our people to look for issues. The health center, the healthcare delivery system should be on the ballot. The education, quality education should be on the ballot. Those are things that we should focus on. And if we want to do who is on the ballot, then we are going to fail. Because then Joe Biden is not going to take us anywhere. Then anybody is not going to take us anywhere. Only Congo is going to take us somewhere.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go to Farika. Farika, can you answer the question? What is on the ballot? How can you educate, speak to the Liberian people right now?
Well, the thing is, when you get children, you can't join witchcraft. The problem here is.
I was thinking about that parable. They tell me and they make a thing they sing. Yeah, another confirmation.
Y'all plenty of will say you're 4.5, then y'all give.
Look at 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.5.
Go ahead. The problem we face is we are reasonable people, so we will accommodate you guys because we know that if there will be a second round, we will welcome you guys on the train. We'll have a space in the front row seat, especially for people like Councilor Gonglo and other people like Cummings. Cummings got a seat right on. Usually, where you will sit.
Well, on the ballot, please educate our Liberian people because
Cummings will bring a lot of investors to the country. So you know that area. Yeah,
near the conductor on the other side, on the left, far right.
His seat got on the investment commission.
Yeah, investors.
Good. But what is on the ballot? A lot is on the ballot. We have drug addiction. The fight against drugs abuse is on the ballot. We have poor economies, lack of foreign direct investments on the ballot. Look, I think George Weah will go down as the worst president in history of Liberia. Look, there were reasons why I have been very skeptical about this guy. It has been so long. I think since
George Weah can be the West, man. CDB King, the West. CDB
King. Are you here defending George? Are you here defending George Weah? We said George Weah the worst, please. Leave our opinion to ourselves.
CDB King too. CDB King.
I can't remember him. I ain't reading about it.
Yeah.
I know. But I mean, in our Reminiscing politics, I mean, this guy, the sad thing about this president is that in as much as a lot of us are critical of him, there was some tiny bit of thing in me that thought that this guy would have made us shame.
Honestly, the politics.
Politics is about identity because identity in America, they say the guy that people want to vote for someone that they can drink beer with. Everybody wants someone they can identify with. Nobody wants queer people to be, but we need a peace.
You got 10.
But let me tell you now.
I gotta go to Stinson and then come back to Lamy.
You made that already. Get you 5 seconds only.
5 seconds. You should have get 30 seconds, but here we got 5 seconds.
You will borrow me 5 seconds on your time. But what I would say is that this election, we have a lot at stake. Look, every time, nothing worry me now. I go to bed and wake up, and it's like a nightmare. I keep having this insomnia, just from thinking that George Weah could be president for another 6 years. We should not underestimate it. I pray that after July, when all the candidates are presented and we get the ball rolling, that we redirect our collective energy. That means the Gonglo folks, the Cummins folks. We have to. I know it's going to be hard because some of you guys will need to stay on the shoulder of a giant to get to where you something. You believe that the giant Becca is in the race, so you want to beat on him, but we understand that. But I beg you guys, let us focus on the 800
pounds. All just join the train right now instead of wasting it.
I'm telling you.
Thank you for the guys. Thank you. I will mute me, man. I will exercise female power and meet you.
Thank you.
Senator, please go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I disagree with you, Fadika, my brother. There is no wealth in hell, in heaven, on earth. Joel will be president again after the October 10th. It is important for us to say this. Let me say this. I beg that I can speak and speak me. It is important for us to say this. What this president have put the Liberian people through, he's the worst president, and he will go down as the worst president in the history of Liberia. A young man from Gibraltar, a very poor. Imagine during those days, if you ever attended Wellstone, you know how bad it was come like graduate. I did. I graduated from Wellstone April 3rd, 1995. I was in the evening school at the time because of no money. I have said this over and over. My father had to take my hand and take me to Mr. Myers and Mr. Boomy and beg them to give me the scholarship. And the only scholarship that was available then was an evening program scholarship. Guys, this is not a joke. Imagine President Weah, when you know his story, went to Wellstone, did what he wanted to do, got into soccer, and God bless him, he traveled. The rest is history for the brother. But for us to sit here on this show, and every one of you guys that give this president an opportunity and believe in his change for hope or hope for change. And today, our countries are the worst since 1822. It's a disgrace to the leadership style of President George Weah. I met him. I spoke with him. I listened to him. I don't know what you guys were thinking of making him a leader. But we would not blame you. No. The Bible that we all serve, God said, come unto me as you are, and come with a repentant heart. The country Liberia will forgive you. The people will forgive you. Repent and vote right. October 10th. God will forgive you. President George Weah is not a leader. The only thing the president cares about is all his many Tabata women. It's all his football experience he ever had. And the only most thing he cares about is the money that Samuel Toa would take from every corner of the country, every ministry, every entity, everywhere to give this president for his weekly enjoyment. What seditions are running away from this president? What sedition go in the corner and gossip about this man? What sedition having a regret? This is not a joke. To stand in front of the Liberian people and say the best government since 1847 with bad roads, bad hospitals, bad education system, the most corrupt government ever beat Ellen Johnson's Salif Town. Should we sit here and pretend? Should we sit here and say that it have never happened before? That's a disgrace to a leader. That's the disgrace of a leader. They may not like us. I belong to no political party. I will speak my mind. Cummins, Bwaka, Tewan Gonglo, give them the chance. Let them try it and see if Liberia will not be better. You have tried President George Weah. killing, unsolved, unresolved. Look at the country. Why are we at this level, my fellow Liberian? Why? Why are we punishing ourselves beyond the integrity status of a nation? Liberia has found herself in the most poorest of poor. I will end on this. I will end on this. I will play this. Look at how our children, people on the street, have turned themselves into Zogos. The president came up with the 13.9 million program. Zoga Wilson came out and said, no, Mr. President, Mr. Sametwe, they gave you the money, you ate the money. Only 28,000 we collected. Nothing. Agriculture Ministry, LCC indicted them. Legis, LCC indicted them. These guys are taking the money. Have you seen the mansion cemetery building articles? Have you seen what George we are doing every day with the Liberian people money? Let's speak truth to power without fear or favor. We may lose some friends. They may insult us. But after the election, if the God-appointed leader come into power, we will sit down one day and say, free our lives, free our lives. Thank God this country is free our lives. And we will speak, and we will dance, and we will celebrate. Then those that hate us today may come to realize that we were fighting for the better Liberia. Cummings is not an enemy. Braga is not an enemy. Tewan is not an enemy. Your opposition is George Manawia. Your opposition is the Liberian people versus George Manawia. When last had this person spoken to the nation? COVID, he failed to speak. When last had this person spoken to the nation? When? You go back in history, since 1822, he have never spoken to the nation. It's a shame and disgrace. He ate the people money. He continued to eat the people money. They drink the Hennessy XO, and all this person will ever do, dance to Bukai. I want you to believe that he's a super president. Oh, he's a Senator call him benevolent president. Are we kidding? Look at the street today.
Debbie Jan Fatu now fat. Debbie was so fat. Why? Fat oh, do me fang.
That's exactly what President Weah gave you. Because of the graphic nature of the video, we want to call it short. That's exactly what this president gave you. For 6 years, he turned your children into Zogos. For 6 years, he makes your children to be drugs dealers, to sleep on the street. For 6 years, he reduced education that you have never seen before. For 6 years, he have increased poverty like you have never seen before on the continent of Africa. That's what the president gave you. Everything must be IMF, World Bank. They signed 2 million contracts, they celebrate, they take the money, they eat it. For 6 years, he have turned our children, our youth into Zogos. We shouldn't sit here for it. Rise up, Liberia. Hold your voter registration card. Celebrate it every evening. Make sure you are protecting it. And vote. Vote President George Manawia. We are up. Liberia deserves better. And I rest. Thank you, guys.
Counselor? Am I muted? Okay. Counselor Lamy?
Yeah. So for me, the issue of rule of law is cardinal, is key. Everything we're talking about, whether it's drug addiction, whether it's drug trafficking, whether it's poor economy, whether it's the lack of investors, the fundamental reasons, whether it's corruption, the fundamental reasons why we are in the abyss in which we are presently in Liberia is because we have a fundamental problem with rule of law. If we don't address that issue, we can do any other thing we want to do. It is zero. It will count for nothing. So we got to focus on these things. Nobody will come and bring money to Liberia. I was at a program once, and I think the charge affair at the U.S. Embassy, or the ambassador, one of them, said the only people who are investing in Liberia right now are high-risk investors. And the only people investing in Liberia. the people who intend on getting short-term profits. And the reason why you have that situation is because the investment climate, the investors, the average investor doesn't trust our rule of law sector. They don't expect that when they put their money here, they will get a word for their money back. So you have those high risk people coming in. And that's the reason why we need a lawyer. We need somebody who understands the issue of rule of law and who is committed to the rule of law. Yesterday, I was talking about got to be married to our laws. We still doing boyfriend, girlfriend business with our laws in this country. Not even serious boyfriend, girlfriend business. We got to be married to our laws. That the way I say Catholic people got to be married to our laws, they're Catholics, because Catholics don't divorce. So you got to stick, you got to be there forever. The rule of law issue is the key thing we got to focus on. And I will end by saying that we're talking about defeating Mr. Weah, right? If you do the math, if you look at all the evidence, the best person who stands the best chance of beating Mr. Weah is Councillor Gonglo. And the reason is that every other political party, let me just say this thing today, and you can go, as my one of the other guys can say, take it to the bank, right? Every single political party in the country, they see Councillor Gonglo as an alternative. Every single one of them, including the CDC people, they see him as an alternative. The UP, all of us on the screen right now, every one of us see him as an alternative. No. But it's not, you can say the same thing. I mean, you guys be honest now. Be honest.
Let me finish. I got to call more Ali, please. And we'll time is against us.
Every single one. No, he's not. I don't think he has that political side to bring the country.
Bring the country
together. They may incorporating us. You want to
they may educating us, man.
You are taking Lami time. You are taking Lami time.
They're taking my time. I will clean back my time. So
he's one more minute.
He's the only person I can tell you that for free. The CDC people, if Councillor Gonglo is in a run-up with any other person, the CDC people will vote for Councillor Gonglo. If Councillor Gonglo is in a run-up with the CDC people, all the other people will vote for him. You can't say that same thing about the other candidates. You cannot. He's the only one you can say that one about. And that's the fact. And that's the reason why you see people from diverse regions of the country. Jeru is from Grand Gedeh County. He supports Councillor Gonglo. I am from Great Cape Mount County. I support Councillor Gonglo. You know, today I met somebody from Nimba who listens to us all the time. I met him. And when he heard someone call my name, he came up to me and said, "Oh, you the Lami." I said, "Yeah." "Oh, I can be watching you on Spoon TV." He said, "I'm from Nimba County." I said, I said, "For me, I'm from Nimba County, but I'm supporting your man." He said, "Oh, you're not from Nimba." He couldn't believe that I was not from Nimba because you see, the identity politics that Fadiga can always be talking about, people expect that you will support the person from your tribe. That's what people expect.
The identity is not only tribal. Identity is not only tribal.
It's mainly tribal. When Fadiga is talking about it, tribalism is talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna
tribalism is talking about. And then he himself has said, the Fadiga man himself has said they can discriminate against him because he might think
it's one aspect.
You finish talking. Let's respect Mwali at the time, and then for closing, everybody just got 1 minute. I'm marking the time because we already
some of us do not believe.
But I thought they said closing. This is the closing we just did.
That's fine.
No, that's not a closing. We were not informed. We have not given closing.
Hello.
I gotta clean back my time.
You are close, but we haven't.
Time. Hello.
Yes. No, but Dr. Regisi, I was still on the floor, right?
Lami again?
Lami, hello, man.
After you landed. Okay, please land. 1 minute and then we gotta go to Mwali.
1 minute again?
So the people in this country expect that we will always support somebody who's coming from our tribe or our county. Some of us are not like that. Because you know the funny thing about me. What?
I'm from Nima. I want to support boy.
No, but you got Nima president, so you can see all together How they go?
I want to even borrow 30 seconds from my man for me to.
So let me just close and go back to say the issue of rule of law is the most cardinal issue in this country. It's like a fulcrum. Every other thing in this country radiates around the issue of rule of law. If we can't solve our rule of law problem, and Councillor Gonglo presents the best opportunity to solve that rule of law problem, the country goes nowhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mwali, you got
So I'm going to start off like this. I'm going to assume that the 8 of all here are a representation of the entire 2.4 million voting population.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep hearing that Joseph Boakai has 4.5 here. And I did my math. And that 4.5 gave me 56.25%. That means that Joseph Boakai is winning the election in the first round.
It's 2%.
Highly likely.
Yeah, that's just a sample right there.
Yeah, a subset of the population.
Yeah, my brother Pago thought.
Yeah, he just don't say you not have. He not saying you not have any vote.
Why are you pushing it? No, he can speak for himself. Why you trying to put you on the spot?
No, I get it. No. You are right, Paco, Councillor, and that they have. Listen, Mama, listen. I beg you guys.
I didn't say you they have. I heard people saying that we are 4.5.
No. Let's set the record. Let's set the record clear. I am for the Liberian people. I belong to no political party.
Okay, Mwali, go ahead, please.
So I also heard my brother saying they need 2 years, and all where you go, there will be only 2 there. He from Cape Mount, Jason Jeru from Grand Gedeh. Diverse people supporting Councillor Gongo. That's a good thing. I'm going to even further diversify it for JMB. Miape Gono, Nimba, Hussein Fadiga, Basso, Eugene Lamin Fagon, Bomi, Mo Ali, Kipman. You see how the diversity going?
0.5. Southeast.
0.5. Southeast other part.
Yo, somebody in your party.
Back Councillor Pago logic. The diversity of people supporting JMB is even more.
No, more than that logic. I didn't say that's not what I said. Don't attribute to me. I didn't say that.
What's on the ballot? What should be on the ballot? The first thing, given the class system of our country, experience in governance, in the governance system of Liberia should be on that ballot. Of course, I agree with Councillor Pago, a rule of law should be on that ballot. And what brings about rule of law is your experience in dealing with the various facets of this country. Youth development should be on that ballot. Better road connectivity should be there. A better healthcare system, better education system, job creation to lift people out of poverty should be on that ballot. The improved tourism sector should be there. A society where we will have minimized drug abuse should be on that ballot. These are the things that are lacking in our country under this weird government. But guess what, Councillor Pagoy? JMB embellishes all of those good tendencies. And that is the reason why any talk show now you go on, any major talk show like this Spoon Talk, you will see more and more people telling you JMB. Lami, you were right when you said, you must say you should think the same way. The difference is that you have diverted into that thinking, and I have remained constant. We all believe that things should change.
No.
We all believe that
you don't want that verse. You don't want that verse.
Hold on. Let me finish.
703.
We all believe that things should change. And we all believe that the change should be holistic. Part of the change should not leave. Part of this change is Councillor Gongo. The arrowhead of the change is JMB. That's why we'll continue to call on you and Gibson Jeru. Don't extract the part of the change. Bring it, let's make the change a whole. So we can get rid of this ratting system. This system is so ratting. You, Gibson Jeru, even Dr. Richardson, your experience in the work you do complete the system that we want to bring. Because you know what? Look, half change can call it, quarter change can call it. You get quarter change. Let me get quarter. No arrowhead with an experience at the caliber of Joseph Wakai will make it.
Thank you.
Councillor Gongo is the sharpest knife in our institution in this country, in the country.
Okay, go home.
The sharpest is Councillor Gongo.
You are the moderator. You should. I thought you were giving a final.
No, because we usually close at 7:05.
No,
okay.
but it don't mean we were not close.
But Fagon close, yeah.
You're not here. Fagon spoke, but anyway, I'll give everybody 1 minute each to.
Okay, let me make a suggestion.
You're not there. You're not there.
Let's try to be rotating. Let's try to be rotating and closing. You don't always be making the UB people last to speak. You gotta stop making the UB people last to speak. Yeah. No, seriously, let's try to do that.
No. I beg you, let's do that. I beg you.
No, starting the next
I beg you, remember, listen. The Taiwan Gonglo people will be last to speak today. Okay? It's not ready to speak. All of us should just leave. That will be the end of the show.
No, but they already spoke on them. We get 2 minutes because they've done that.
1 minute. Starting from tomorrow. Let's rotate it.
1 minute each.
I'm the only one that has not closed.
You can't do that.
Ask everybody the question, what's on the ballot? Everybody answer.
You answer that question. You were the first person.
No, that the last time I spoke.
The guy get laugh. The guy in red tie. He get laugh.
That was the last time I spoke.
The man came and eating mackerel fish. You know mackerel fish, the greasy fish.
My brother.
So, I wish I could be the first, so I can leave because I'm trying to follow.
And then go to you, Falcon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before I even
it's 7:06. My 7:07 should be
yesterday, Madam Ede Ware.
The guy will not leave this thing. The guy cannot leave this thing.
Was accused yesterday, and the only closing I'm going to do today is just to read something so that people can stop accusing her falsely. So there's a letter here that she wrote the LBDR, and that's the letter I'm only going to read, so that it will give you an idea. I put a letter in the chat room. Some of you can go ahead and read it. This letter says to John Davis, President, Liberia Bank for Development and Investment, LBDR. It said, Dear Honorable Davis, seeking information regarding Nima County Social Development Account transaction. Compliments, and I pray that this letter reaches you in good health. This communication is intended to officially request information regarding a transaction allegedly made on the Nima County Social Development account at LBDR dated July 21st, while we serve as county superintendent. According to the 2014 General Auditing Commission report, a LBDR bank transferred from the county's SDF account totaling $1,066,363.60 was remitted to an unknown account on the above stipulated date. As the superintendent of NEMA at that time, the report implicated us in this alleged transaction. We are totally unaware of such transaction and therefore request a full and detailed disclosure and or investigation of said transaction within the account to establish its authenticity. The reason I'm reading this is because when we come on these shows, we should stop making accusations we cannot defend. Okay, so Madam Ede Ware was not involved in our NEMA funds. So I'm just saying it so that all of you can know.
I'm forced to ask you at least two questions.
Mr. Fakon,
Yeah,
no,
go
I
ahead.
have to ask you two questions now. The letter is
Go
up.
ahead.
The letter is up. The letter was received, if you looked at the 10th of August, 2020. If Ida Gonglo Wai could have provided this letter to you, which is a good thing you did, bringing credibility to our network. We are in 2023. Can you ask her for the bank response?
What do you mean ask her for the bank response?
Excuse me, I will repeat my question. This letter you just read was received by Honorable John Davis. She was asking for a request. She was asking for a request for a what? Release of information regarding this thing, because she said, you know, I know nothing about it.
Okay.
And the man, where tell the person, I see what the man office received,
let me make my comment.
You are not ready for president. You can find anything on brother, so you bring her in the election. But just because people not targeting you for
Guys, I win now. Guys, let's pause a minute. No, hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Guys, hold on 1 minute, please.
I'm asking Gibson.
Hold on 1 minute, guys, please. Fagon, hold on 1 minute. Let Gibson finish, and everybody will have the time to respond to Gibson. So please, Gibson, can you finish up, because we really got to go, please. Yes, your letter. So talk to us exactly. Make your point.
If Madam Ware was involved into this, she would not write such a letter, because then she knows that she's going to be implicated. Okay, the intent. There's something in law we call mens rea, the intent for crime. If you have an intent to commit crime, you cannot provoke people to remind you about your crime. So she cannot write such a letter if she was involved with this thing. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I don't know if you have a bank response, you can bring it in and put it up there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Gibson. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's do this real quick. It will be good. Councillor Bako, can you close? You have your 1 minute, sir.
I really don't understand
I have not closed, and it was
you were close. No. Dr. Richardson said everybody closing. That's what she said. She said everybody closing. Yeah, go ahead, Bako.
It's really lazy. It's lazy and laughable that Eugene will decide.
Gibson, hold on now. Gibson, hold on. Gibson, I beg you. We got to go, my man. You got fly to catch. Just pause. Go ahead, Councillor.
It's lazy and laughable that Eugene will decide to attack Edith Gonglu Way when the target actually is her brother. But because he can't find anything on the councillor, he goes for the family. I mean, why would you want to bring someone's family into an election that the person is not participating in? What? The woman is not running for anything? If that woman had been involved in corruption, why do you think the government people have not prosecuted her when she challenged them to prosecute her? Why they can't do it? As Gibson said, if she was part of a corrupt regime or corrupt action, she would not be asking somebody for clarification on that issue. Let's stop.
Thank you very much. Your point.
We were told not to attack women, so don't go attacking a woman for something that you got nothing. Yeah, stop that.
Thank you very much, man. Wow. Okay, thank you. Fatiga, please.
These guys are persistent, but nice try. Look, man. Well, I will leave Madam Edith Gonglo. We'll need that the Gonglos.
You are a smart boy. You are a smart boy.
We'll leave the Gonglos for second round if there will be one. If we don't, we sure want to win the first round. All right, so I wouldn't need them. And I listened to her a couple of times. She's a fine lady. She, the thing is, all these people got a root. They are deeply rooted within the UP, so they're not going nowhere. They coming right back home. Edith, she ran on a UP platform. Councillor Gongro was in the government, so they'll be coming home. But I don't want to end on that. I want to end on this precedent that we have. Look, October, this is the only time that the Liberian people have to exercise that right. That is the only power that you have. If you don't believe it, sit down and just don't do nothing. Not voting, not even being part of this election is almost like an endorsement of President Weah. That means you have accepted your fate. You are resigned to the fact that suffering is part of your life. And as the saying goes, you can't scare Liberian people with suffering, so you want to enjoy it. But honestly, the thing about having a good president, look, we have a minefield of competent individuals within the opposition. And the good thing about having a good leader is that you don't have to be a partisan to enjoy in that country. And that is the worst thing with this government. You have to be on the psychometry.
Thank you very much, Fadiga.
You have to do all those things to be. Let me finish the other to be part of this in this institution. And that is the saddest part. So October, you have a choice. Look in the shop or around in the opposition. Anything but George Weah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. Let me bring in Mo Ali.
Good. Thank you. Like Fadiga said, the Gongos, the commies, they should help to make this thing easy. We have one target, a target that has damaged this country to the extent that we have to rescue the country first before thinking about fixing it. We have to rescue the country before we can sweep it. If you don't have a country, there will be nothing to fix. If you don't have a country, there will be nowhere to sweep. That is the reason why everyone needs to join the rescue train. We need to rescue the country from the drug abuse. We need to rescue this country from human rights abuse. We need to rescue this country from the massive underdevelopment. We need to rescue this country from the shattered health system. We need to rescue this country from the obliterated education system. We need to rescue this country from mediocrity. Where the president was just say, the thing I not do, nobody not do it in the history of the whole world, I pay WASP. And somebody said, someone paid their child school fee from ABC to 12th grade. That WASP they will not pay. Get the people job. Create opportunity for employment to come, for companies to come. Who doesn't feel proud paying their child WASP? If somebody has a job, you think they'll be sitting looking for government to come pay $2,000-3,000 that burn out for WASP? That is the reason why we need to rescue the country. That's why I'm calling on Dr. Riches in the coming nights. Bagoy, the entire Gonglo team. Your job, let's rescue the country. When we rescue the country, then we'll give it to you to fix it and sweep it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On point, we want to say, let's bring in our sister Memphis Gono. Sister Gono.
Thank you very much. You know, I don't know what to say because Mo just spoke my mind. I hear Stanton say many times so far number that you like it, vote for Cummins, vote for Gonglo, vote for whoever else, or JNB. But if you're really passionate about a change and you really want it so badly, you have to bring your forces together. That's what we should be saying now. How do we come together and make it an easy goal? And that would be to rally around the forerunner, the arrowhead, the one who the Liberian people in the majority have said, it is your time to lead us. Let us bring our resources, our votes, our efforts together and support the candidacy of Ambassador Joseph Yima Boyka, then we will be meaning business. You cannot be spreading all your votes. It's very dangerous. Yet you say you're passionate about removing a government and incumbent. It's very difficult. So it will be a good thing for us to come together and not to sit and just fight each other. You know, I'm sorry Gibson is gone. We heard the clarity. You know, Sister Edith Gonglo is my favorite Gonglo, I'm telling you. She's the most politically savvy Gonglo. I can say that. Just how he said it most year, I can say she's the most politically savvy Gonglo. I want to see her energy on board the train. I can just imagine someone like that was on the train. So I wish we can all come to a point where we say, we don't have to wait for a second round or wait for after the fight. Let us come together. And I hope Mr. Cummings can do the same. And to end, I just want to make a little bit of correction because you know that Richardson, the way she dealing with a computer, I want to come back tomorrow and say I researched that Richardson I was in error. It's not Richard Henry. It's what's the guy named Moali Richardson? John T. Richardson. It is John T. Richardson. I don't want that to come by and say I was in error, but I was in error. So it's John T. Richardson for the correction for the general public. He is the one who got massively whipped at CWA by our vision bearer, who just came from Lo-Fi, but he has so much swag and intellect and leadership, and those boys saw him like one of themselves. So
thank you.
He has been a leader. He's our leader. And let the Liberian people rally. And I believe come October 10, like I said, the people of Liberia are the ones who are going to win the election. He will just be the mainstream which they've won the elections afterwards. Thank you
very much, man.
Good show. Thank you for according me the opportunity. And Dr. Richardson, I will say again, keep your heads up. We stand by you. We are with you. You're a great woman. Look in the mirror and believe that. Take care, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much, man. We appreciate your time on the show. Now we're going to go to Dr. Richardson, and the Honorable Eugene Fagon will take us home. The Honorable, respectful, professional Dr. Francine Chinua Richardson, please.
So I want to just start by thanking all of those for their support. I really appreciate it. I value all of you who call, text. I've been reading the comments. You guys have been very supportive. That's a testimony to the kind of society that we have and how some of you respect your mothers, your sisters. You know, when we listen to the groups of people here, you know, you can hear them speak about two categories of things. One will come up and say, oh, identity politics, you have to be able to connect with the people. We've been through this, Liberians. That's why we had George Weah. Liberian people said they identify with him. He was one of them. In fact, he, you know, said that he was from Nukutan and he related to the people. Then we also have another leader, you know, where they talk about his experience. But I want to tell you that experience is very different from leadership. Somebody can be in a position for a long time. They have experience. But somebody who have leadership, they have impacted systems. They have made a difference in the systems that they met. You can see it. In fact, they come with innovation, ingenuity, where they can just look at our complex Liberian problem and begin to solve our problems. Bring in collective, let me talk, okay? Yes, bring in a collective group of people to solve the problem. I love Mr. Cummings because Mr. Cummings has the knowledge, he has the skill, and he has the experience in double system. The old system in Liberia, and I'm saying old, and I mean the ancient system in Liberia, because we don't even have the computer system to find it will be hard. For the internet to work will be hard. And he's accustomed to the new system that has everything working. So he knows the difference. and he wants to bring that system to Liberia. That is the experience he has. The skill that Mr. Cummings had, he's a financial analyst. You talk about someone who ran a budget that is probably twice Liberia's budget. So he's going to know how to allocate money for our people. And this is what makes Mr. Cummings the best person that we Liberians should vote for October 10th. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Fagon, can you take us home, please?
Anyways, thank you, Mr. Witherspoon. Thank you, wonderful ladies, Miape and Dr. Francine. And to my esteemed colleagues, Lamine, Mo Ali, and Al Hussein, Eugene Vadiga. Let me start by saying, when you hear me yell like that in my spirit,
Make her eating.
I managed to know.
So man, you really want to eat, man.
You get Dr. Francine and Miape on the show. Usually, if energy was something you could check, I'll do away with 3 or 4. The 2 people dream me and finish. I had to go recharge. You know? And that's why it's important. But let me start by saying, nice trial. I mean, when you say, why are you attacking the man family? You see, we didn't attack the man family. Just a point of correction. We said when this issue arose, he wrote a letter to another law firm that says the statute of limitation had expired. And because of that, she escaped. Your friend brought a letter that she wrote in 2020, and it showed that it was received by John Gedeh in August of 2020. 3 years down the road, she was asking for information relative to the fund. I'm sure John Gedeh, a reputable, esteemed banker in the Republic of Liberia, responded to her. She gave the letter that she wrote, but what about the reply? And it's 3 years down the road. If she was interested in the response, where are we now? Okay, so we'll leave it and table it, as Fadiga said, for another day until you raise the issue. And to say she's not running for anything is to not understand that registration is not complete. So you cannot sit here and say that. She ran and she was beaten. Don't forget. She was in the race with the ANC guy, Tar Wongbe and others. You saw the fighting? If you didn't, I witnessed it live with Majum. Having said that, and knowing that you have been defeated again on this other argument, let me make progress on my 30-second closing. There is no one in this race with the experience of JLB. There is no one in this race with the age of JMB. There is no one in this race with 42 years of public service to the people of Liberia. There is no one in this race that have ever questioned his integrity, his honesty, and his dignity. Nobody. He has never been linked to anything evil before. Now, when it comes to his record, there is no one that can show even 10% of his record. And just let me give you an example. I will start with your leadership, Gonglo. Even if Gonglo was to tell you his public service record, it would not be 10%, because his age alone, I was a small brother on 12th Street. When it comes to the record of his closest rival, maybe, who happens to be George Weah, he has no record other than the fact that there was brutal extrajudicial killings, there was the proliferation of drugs under his watch, there was money laundering, there was corruption and the amassing of wealth, there was trickery, fakery, and the rest of it. So even George Weah does not have a record to put against his. I will not go to the others because for now it's not important. But let me say to the Liberian people, the man that came the closest to the presidency and served for 12 years as your vice president will now be promoted to you to the position of president. He will now be promoted by you. You, the Liberian people, have made a couple of mistakes. And some of us were the ones who made you make such a mistake. We have blamed ourselves, and we have come to tell you that those of us who dressed the devil and brought it to town to dance, we did not tell the devil to eat your children. We did not tell the devil to burn your houses down. We did not tell the devil to beat people and scatter things. And once the devil decided to do that, we wash our hands. However, you have decided that JMB will be your next president. All I can say to you is that the day is not far. 116 days to have a president that cares for you, that loves you, that thinks about you, is something we all look forward to. These people denied me closing because they knew I would have told you great things about this man. But tomorrow I will give you the name of my new show. Starting on Monday, it will be on over 15 radio stations, television stations, online platforms. Tomorrow you will hear your new program name airing from 3 o'clock to 5 p.m. And yes, we got Republicans, we got Democrats, we got CNN, we got Fox News. I will treat everyone fairly. But during those times, I will introduce the candidates to you as they tell me to introduce them to you. If Kumi send me a videotape telling me about his STEM school and some of the things he has done, I will show it. If Gongro send me here, I will show it. If JMB send me here, I will show it. If he don't send me here, I will still show the one I got. That JMB I'm talking about now. Because he too plenty, he will not finish it. And Stanton, I respectfully submit on this note. We will not be distracted. An example, when Belete said he only made
you say you submit, then you still talking again?
Yes, that the example I gave him. This platform, we never ran behind him. We never ran behind anybody. We remain focused. If you see us not responding or hearing what the other people say, it's because this platform is for the Liberian people. We're not coming here to use our mouth to chew other people pepper. The pepper we chew here will be the Liberian people pepper. And I just finished cooking my soup. So I'm eating it now with my fufu. And I was going to finish, but you interrupted me. So I would like to return with Dr. Francine's permission to my fufu. I just got a piece of lamb from the
Lord watch between
me and thee.
While we are one for another. Amen. Amen. Have a good night. God bless you and God keep you.
I will say, when you Muslim pray like that. Mo Alipa, you can pray hard to see him to the mosque.
Man, liberal, man. The man is a liberal.
The man at Christmas.